think the promise was 61%. I don't know who I told that to. I was like, it'll be fine. You'll be happy. It'll be a jolly
61.
So we've got to get 61%.
Willow.
Yeah,
Willow doesn't care about happiness or smiles. Just look at what she watches.
You need 61% smiles? More smiles?
Yes. 61%.
I mean, any amount of smiles.
Ilderon Tales. Now 61% more smiles.
Hey,
And 100% less Rob.
Last season we achieved 51%, so 61%'s doable. Just constant improvement.
We do that.
From me. I made up the deficit. No, I'm kidding. Alright, so we are about to get started for the night. Let's play background. Right? Nope, that's not what I want. Let's go with this one.
The background is that we're all about to die in a horrible vehicle accident.
Oh, I like that, but that's kind of too intense. Okay, this one's good, because it's pretty intense. Okay, so, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is the Nobles, episode 2 of the first saga of their campaign. We are playing Dungeons and Dragons tonight. Everything you're going to see tonight is live storytelling. Nothing is scripted, and anything can happen. If you are under the age of 14 and you're watching this, please consult your parents before proceeding, as you'll likely encounter content that's not appropriate for you. Not likewise, if you are unfamiliar with our world, we're playing in a homebrewed setting. It is the world of Ilderon. The coolest aspect of Ilderon is it takes one of the fundamental assumptions of D&D of fantasy, that the gods are watching over the world, and it amplifies that. All the gods in Ilderon live inside of the material plane, and in most places you can go down the street and talk to one of your gods. Moving on from there, Anthony is not in attendance right now. He'll be showing up later. I'll be controlling his character Alexander until he returns, and we have another player joining us tonight. Ryan, would you like to say a sentence about yourself and then a sentence about your character?
Hi, I'm Ryan. I work in a coffee shop, and I've been playing D&D for 2 or 3 years now. I'm playing Daphne Sarchalia, a rich, snobby bard.
All right. Let's see. I'd like to start off the night with information. So, does anybody have a question about Ilderon or D&D that they want to pose to the group? And if nobody does, I might just hit you guys with a random trivia question. Get our brains going. Trivia's become like my new thing.
Hit us up with trivia.
Okay. Alright, so I'll hit you guys with a trivia question. If you know the answer, feel free just to speak up. So, sorcerers in this edition are imbued with magic from wild and different sources, and each of their subclasses is based around where that source is. One of the sources is a wild magic sorcerer, which if they cast a spell, the magic can just kind of get finicky and misfire. And this happens with any time they cast a spell.
It doesn't misfire, actually.
Well,
it surges as magic goes out of control and fun things happen.
When it surges, one of these effects, or rather one of these, I'm going to list 4 effects, and one of them is not an actual wild magic surge. Okay, so tell me if you guys can learn the one that's not a wild magic surge. Let's see. Wild magic surge happens, and you turn yourself into a potted plant for 1 minute. Wild Magic Surge happens, and you cast Fireball and a 3rd level spell slot centered on yourself. A Wild Magic Surge happens, and you turn yourself into a large aquatic mammal.
That last one is not the right one.
I'm
sorry, this is my favorite subclass. I know that table like the back of my hand.
That is
I'm surprised I knew it as well.
That's actually from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They use the infinite probability machine and turned a missile into a whale falling from the sky. But yes, that is it. Wild Magic Sorcerer has a lot of silly things that can happen, but turning into a aquatic mammal is not one. All right,
Could be, though.
Let's get started for tonight. Does anybody want to do the recap, or do you guys want me to handle it?
You can handle it, I guess.
All right. So, last session started off on the 21st of Noble. It was our very first session. Rumors have been circulating around the capital of the nation, around the nation of Ardersarai, that the magnate, who is the leader of the country, that her family consorts with demons and devils, and that her child is a demon spawn. That said, it's been causing slight levels of unrest that could cascade into more problems. So to settle this, the magnate has thrown a party for specific influential lords and ladies of the country, revealing her daughter to them for her daughter's 16th birthday. At the party, lots of different people were in attendance, like the princess of Ililnagai, a neighboring nation, who is doing work inside of the country of Ardersarai, basically missionary work, healing the sick and helping the poor. As Stradora was heading into the party, one of the people that Stradora had healed came to her and revealed herself as Corwin Linsong and said that she would do anything for Stradora as she owed her her life. And Stradora's order captain had ushered the woman off to find her lodging for the night. The rest of the party slowly filed in one by one into the vent, and we're all seated at a table together. And the Arch-Arcanist, or rather the head diviner, well, she is an Arch-Arcanist too. The head diviner, Reyna, Surreal Renalpaw, set her apprentice at the table, a woman by the name of Irifin. As the night went on, the princess and the magnate attended the party and went to their seats, and people lined up to give them gifts. In the process of giving them gifts, one lord, Lord Glacius Niatin, who had been consolidating power from the fractured Nakart faction, and was backed up by the magnate, or rather was supported by the magnate, stood up and gave a toast. He claimed that Arder was a nation of heroes that once led the world against the things in the darkness, and claimed that the things that hide in shadows used to quiver at the thought of an approaching Ardorian warrior. Looked at the princess and told her that she would usher that time back in. Pulled out a spear, and he stabbed her through the chest, killing the princess. It was revealed then that the person who was sitting in that chair was actually one of Reyna's apprentices, disguised as the princess. And Reyna went over to the table where Irifin had been sitting with the party, grabbed her, and told her she had to get out of there. The party kind of put together that the princess had been switched, and that things were getting kind of crazy. As they rushed to try and save the apprentice at the table, guards seized Lord Niatin and forced him down to the ground. The magnate executed him on the spot for attempting to murder her daughter, and to make a show to all of the other nobles in the room that that type of behavior is not going to be tolerated. He was a bad boy. From there, the magnate asked the party to stay back for a second and talk to all of the children of the nobles. She apologized for the beheading, as she did want to make a display of strength to their parents, but she did not want to traumatize the party members in attendance. Yeah. And so she invited the party members, who all consisted of children of noble families, back to a breakfast the next morning, and she would make it up to them of giving them a proper party and feast. From there, the party all headed out, and they encountered a strange man in the corridors of the castle, whispering to them to come over and talk to him. He offered them 15 gold each to accompany him to Somar Villa, to go to the Nyatan's manor and investigate what's going on with them a little further. After a little bit of deduction, the party put together that this was actually the princess again in a disguise, and they agreed to help her. They smuggled her out of the castle and out of the city. On their way out of the city, she explained why she had to... she revealed herself that, she was the princess. And she explained that why she was going southwards to Somar Villa. That if all of this unrest was bubbling and starting because of her, clearly they didn't understand her or know who she was, and that it could be sorted out with words and proper communication. Before the party could get any further south, the carriage was stopped as they don't know why the carriage was stopped. And the party got out to see a mage, the head diviner, Reyna Rinalpulse Real, was standing on the road in front of the carriage. She had put the horses and the carriage driver to sleep, and knew that the princess was inside of the carriage from scrying on the objects the princess had. Before the party could decline her requests, the beggar that revealed herself to Stradora showed up. Her name is Corwin Linsong, and had informed Stradora that since Stradora hadn't come back to her order captain was worried about her, and Corwin scryed on her and then teleported to her. Corwin then saw Reyna and recalled her face and said that Reyna is not a good person. Reyna knew that Corwin was left up in a village to the north to die, and had a hand in it. Reyna did not recognize or know who Corwin was. Corwin revealed herself to be a very powerful magic caster, and the two began fighting. Corwin told them in the dust of the skirmish that they can get away because she'll keep Reyna occupied, and she did. And Claw got on top of the carriage and whipped the horses fervently, and they, as soon as they woke up, the horses rushed down the road. And we are going to pick up from there. Is there any important details I skimmed over that anybody wants to add? Hey, look, it's Anthony.
That covers everything.
All right. So let me grab my dice, and we're gonna play D&D: 1,000 Years of Friendship. Oh, I'm so excited.
1,000 Years of Darkness.
1,000 Years of Friendship, Jackal. I will kick you. I'm kidding. All right.
All right.
Traders
What
already.
do I do?
Let's see. You guys are south of Ardor, headed towards Somar Villa. But there was one thing I wanted to do. Oh yeah, so, E, you made my life easier. I'm going to say, since Claw rolled those double nat ones on the double nat ones on that check to control the horses. Like, these horses are just wildly rushing down the road. You know, you are taking, like, no merit of, like, the quality of the road or avoiding, like, any potholes that have formed from, you know, passing rainfall or anything. The carriage is bumping up and down, and anyone not holding to this thing is not staying on it if you're not inside. And so I am ruling that both of the drivers have, like, already fallen off, like, 300 feet ago, as this carriage is roaring towards Somar Villa. Alright, so let's start our story off tonight in Somar Villa.
As we steal these people's cart, run away from the authorities.
It's not crimes if you never say it out loud.
Grand Theft Cardo.
Anthony, why would you do that?
Plus 100 respect.
What did I do?
Your picture on Roll20.
That picture, I made that meme like 3 years ago.
That's just mean.
Let's see. Let's go with...
I was muted. Am I allowed to try and do a roll when we get close to Somar Villa to try and bring them to a somewhat reasonable stop?
We're not in panic mode.
So this is actually what I'm going to roll. You guys are coming in on the northern road of Somar Villa. You're in that area on the map where it says, like, the green. And I'm going to describe Somar Villa real quick as you guys are, like, careening into town.
As it whips past us.
Yeah. So if you look to the right of the picture, I've got some pictures for inspirations of kind of like what Somar Villa is. Somar Villa is like this really, really nice southern retreat from the capital. In the distance, there are the mountains and the buildings of the capital behind you, in the far, far distance. But in front of you, just slowly coming against the night sky, you can see the almost monolith, or rather, like massive city-like cathedral of the Nakarts in the center of Somar Villa, just looming and rising above everything. It is what this entire city was built around, and all of the houses and manors kind of cascade out from this central manor. Some of the places are much nicer, and some of them are still larger estates too that have their own plots of lands and gardens around them. But as you get, like, closer into town, it just starts to thicken as some of these townhouses have been built on and over each other, as it's really a symbol of pride to live in Somar Villa. Or it's really a symbol of pride to own land, I guess, inside of Somar Villa, and for a member of your family to live here, but it's kind of unfeasible for, like, as you get closer through the center of the city, for some of the conditions that some of these houses, like, live in, and how they're just, like, built upon each other. That said, as you come careening through the town, there is one large garden, one large park that is decorated with artwork and statues, and just going by, like, it is the only safe place for you guys to jump off this carriage and not hit like a market stall, a building, or, like, jump into something potentially, like, grimy. So I'm going to say, give me that check to try and control the horses now. And if you can't control the horses, like, this is the point everybody's got to jump off.
Alright.
Because these horses have been spooked. They have been magically put to
Hey, we're rolling
sleep.
well.
Alright. So that's how we're starting off this session.
Not one.
Redemption.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
It's the only natural 20 he will receive.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, like, Asu Andrea's, like, in the back of this carriage, like, with all this, like, gear and stuff, like, just screaming at the top of her lungs, just, and then the carriage just kind of like, there's this hard force and everybody's like pushed to the front of it as the horses, I forget what the poles are called that, are attached to the horses' reins. Well, I know the reins, but the poles that attach to the carriage. Anyways, the carriage is kind of pushed to a stop as these horses just skid, and they're tired, and they're huffing, and they're neighing. But you guys are there. You guys are in Somar Villa. It is late in the evening that you have arrived here. Or actually early in the morning that you've arrived here.
Pretending on perspective, just like...
Okay, so since now that we've stopped, Kenneth will yell out, "Everyone good?"
That was fun!
One moment. Alexander sticks his head out the window and starts to puke.
Yeah.
Right. You doing alright, Princess?
She's going to just like be huffing too, and she's going to be completely pale and just like, I think I left the color of my skin back there. We can pick it up later.
Yeah, you're good. Alright. In the cart for equipment, guys. We gotta run.
Color of my...
Claw, you're not driving back.
I was in a rush. I was afraid of our lives.
You're not driving back.
No, I just get out and I kick like one of the wheels of the cart and like notice the obvious like damage. Like I don't think we can even if we wanted to.
When I get off of the cart, I'm gonna try and calm the horses down, kind of like apologetically trying to.
These horses have been straight sprinting for 30 minutes. So you can calm them down to the best of your ability, but they're less calm and more tired. Like they did the whole carriage ride normally, and then the last 30 minutes, like they just non-stop sprinted. So
right, it's just kind of like, sorry.
The horses feel a little relieved. You get the sense from them.
Okay.
Andrea is going to search through the cart along with the party. And I'm going to say you guys find enough gear to replenish your starting gear. So everything you guys got from your starting class and everything, you're not abandoned of that. That said, too, I'm also going to give you, I told you guys these were performers. I'm going to give you guys 3 musical instruments of your choice. Well, actually, no, because there's so many of you. I'm just going to tell you what musical instruments are here. Let's go with a lute. Let's go with a large bass drum, and let's go with the mandolin.
I actually am proficient with a drum, so Clara might take that.
I was like, are we sure we want to take it? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to at least want to try to get their cart back when they pick
that's fair.
Off
we did
the
kind
road.
of steal it.
That's fair. I probably shouldn't take that then.
Actually, I'm now thinking about. You said like the 2 guys that were on top were like thrown off, right?
Yes.
They're not dead, are they?
No. You know what? I'll say they're
like
dead.
It's really high up. Like if you've ever been on a cart, depending on how they land.
I'm gonna roll you a D100. They're dead on a 15 or lower. 59 and 93. They are fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be
okay, so we won't have to have like unnecessary murder on on our conscience.
Yeah, I don't know if the rest of you guys have taken stuff, changing out of my fancy clothes, or just taking off the fancy vest and fancy shirt.
Also, Andrea begins casting a spell on herself, and
it might just be easier if like there's like a hooded cloak around here or something.
Yeah, I'll roll. She's able to get one off of the cart.
Just like take one, drape it over her, and it's just like.
Well, she's still going to cast
down.
disguise self on herself. Her eyes are black voids of abyss.
Just keep looking down. Don't look up at anyone.
Well, yeah, pull the top of the hood down. It'll be fine.
I'm sorry. By the way, I thought I could handle these better.
I mean, we were in a rush. It's fine.
So, anybody can explain what in the bridge happened out there?
From what I saw, two powerful casters were going at it, and I heard Alexander. No, sorry. Anderson! I was right in the very beginning.
You were right the first time.
Wow. Okay. I heard Anderson voice and yelling at me to go as soon as I saw the horse start to get up, and I made sure that I was avoiding any traps as best I could.
Right. So I am almost certain I heard the head diviner out there. He was fighting someone else after us?
Walking through the streets with the hood up towards the line of buildings lining the road, Andrea is going to say, oh, I feel sorry for whoever that lady was. Reyna doesn't lose duels.
She apparently knew our Alonagian princess here.
I mean, two archmages going at it is not as cool as it would be. Not something you wanna be around.
I'm gonna look at Stradora. You have a bodyguard, stalker, man.
You think I can't protect myself?
A random mage came out of nowhere and
Yeah, that
found.
about sums it up.
And apparently they knew you.
Corwin was a woman in a village up north. That's why I was here. Winsley's order is, they're mostly medics. There's a frostblade outbreak. She came and found us as we were heading into the party. I don't know how she hunted us down in the first place. Magic might have something to do with it. But I don't know this woman. I didn't know she was capable of magic.
Right. You might as well get moving now.
Like, she seems at least as capable as Reyna.
Andrea is going to shake her head and say, no one's as capable as Reyna. I saw her almost lose a spell duel once, and she summoned her sword to her hand, and it crackled with lightning, and she threw it through a guy's chest.
You watched her kill a man?
She's going to nod and say, well, the palace clerics were nearby.
Okay.
Auntie Reyna has a bit of a temper sometimes.
Andrea is going to look up at the building you guys are walking towards. It is a tavern. Woolgrief. She's going to just like look in her bag and say, I'll pay for our stay tonight, and then when we get back to the palace, I'll pay you all the money, I promise.
You don't have any money.
She's gonna brush her hand and say, nonsense, I have plenty of money for the tavern. She's going to step inside and hold the door open for everybody and say, we should get off the streets.
Your Highness, you didn't bring any of your gifts with you, did you?
That's exactly what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stradora's gonna give that gimme gesture. It's like, I want the bag of gifts.
Well, like, it doesn't matter. She's seen some of us now, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Bag of gifts.
She's going to take off her satchel and say, yeah, I got him in here, and she'll hand him towards Stradora and say, we can sell him, and as soon as we sell him, she won't be able to scry on us anymore.
No,
She saw three of us. She saw three of us.
I don't have a fancy necklace like you do. She knows my name and my face. Kind of unforgettable.
and along with me.
I don't think she saw you, but that doesn't mean anything. She saw Alexander too.
Well, I was like-
so.
Claw, you might be okay because your face is mostly covered.
Yes, Anthony, I can turn the music down. Let's see.
This jackal.
Oh,
That was me. Anthony went to go.
okay.
I just didn't want to interrupt anyone. So.
I
That's
also
fine.
just messaged about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, too, on the last cog, there's individual things where you guys can control your music settings.
Yeah, I found that too, so I actually went there.
Okay, so as you step in, Andrea is going to say, "Oh, the necklace! Yeah, we can buy more of these."
With what money?
That isn't probably going to be a common thing that you can easily get, though. The hell is that voice? Sorry.
She's going to gesture to the satchel that she handed Shadora.
We sell the items there, get money, but we still have to find a place to get. Let's just get into this tavern real quick,
One
guys.
problem at a time.
Let's get in, figure out what all we've got, then make a plan.
All right. So,
A bunch of teenagers walk into a bar.
Totally not suspicious.
Oh, don't worry, I'll be in front. Everything's fine. Trust me, it's okay.
It's cool, we have our DD.
Oh no!
So you are going to step inside of this tavern. It is a very large place on the road. One of the first stops for adventurers and travelers coming into Somar Villa. There are, stepping inside, there are going to be two men in half plate sitting near the door. They are reading. They have spears. They have one has a spear and another has a sword. And the spear is resting against the side of the door. Its sword strapped to the other guy's waist. Passing by this, there are several banners of the different four ascended here over a small library of journals. Moving past the foyer into the rest of this place, it is a well-lit affair with a large and healthy crowd. Let's see. I know I have background music for a crowd. Close enough. Anyways, yeah, it's and let's turn this down some. Anyways, yes, it's a large crowd, and there are lots of people, well, actually, no. Where you'd expect to blend in Somar Villa with, like, all of your fancy clothes and your elaborate, elegant outfits, most of the people here are, like, the traders and merchants coming in and out of town. And just, like, looking for someplace in this place to sit down. You're going to find a small area where there's, like, a nicer group of people sitting. And at some points in this place, there are loud and rowdy bunches of people. And others, there's just people drinking, talking, laughing. There are rolls happening. Let's see. Yes, there are. Let's see. I will fix that for you. I like having a ambient music, but let's add a crowd. Or actually, I'll add this later. Okay, so as you guys move towards a table, the bartender's going to mostly ignore the party, just kind of like looking over at you and kind of looking back at some of the other patrons, arguing back and forth with each other, making sure nobody gets too rowdy so that he doesn't have to call the bouncers from the door to throw anyone out. Let's see. How am I going to do this? I think I'll just describe it, because it's going to be it's going to be something that's pretty noticeable for you guys, as people have given these two a wide berth. You're going to see one of these adventurers. These people, and he's equipped in full studded leather armor. He's got a buckler on his back and a sword at his waist, and he's got a bag at his feet. And he's going to point at this young girl and say, "Oh, no amount of money your family is paying me can make me tolerate your stuck-up, prissy." He's going to pull out a sheet of paper and rip it in front of the girl's face and say, "Tell your family to keep your damn gold. I'm going back to Kalu. Find your own way there." And he's going.
My fault. Banquet.
Say that one more time.
It's not my fault I missed the banquet.
And he's going to say, "We wouldn't have missed it if you hadn't been stirring up drama with the Niatan's son." And okay. He puts a hand up and says, "I'm leaving. This isn't worth my head." And he's going to start walking away. At that point, I feel like Asuandria is going to look over at this and look to the party and say, "About that payment, 1 second." And she's going to walk over to...
My spidey senses are like tingling.
I don't like the way...
Oh no, the cinnamon rolls on her own.
It's we should not leave her alone.
Oh no, I'm following.
I was about to say. I need
I'm
to
walking
be an
with her.
intercept distance.
Ryan...
Well, I'm just going to mentally ping the princess of what is it that you actually plan on doing?
Ryan, go ahead and give me a description of Daphne.
So Daphne has like a golden purple dress, similar to the one on the image, if you'd like to pull that up. She has super flaxen gold hair and honey brown eyes. Her hair is kind of pulled in like a loose braid. Yeah, that is the drawing I did of her. It's trash, but that's roughly what she looks like. She's very... Currently, I'm sure she looks somewhat perturbed.
Asuandria is going to walk up and say, "You have gold and you're looking for bodyguards? I've got 7 I have to pay. Perhaps we can split the contract?"
No. Let's
Who
this play out.
exactly are you? You're guarding.
She's going to point to herself and say, "Oh, I'm Asuandria.
No.
Over the
that's
face.
Her name's Aussie.
This is Lady Aussie.
She lives around here and is not in any way related to other...
I only have so many hands, Anderson.
May I insight to see if I caught that?
Yeah,
You need to
go
do
for it." Yeah,
I didn't say that she was related to the princess. The magnet?
Anderson, you're
Okay,
both
I'm
no,
not
but
out
so
here.
full in your pants.
I really didn't. It's in any way related to anyone important, is what I
Can
said.
someone explain how to do a roll? I've never
yeah.
used roll 20.
So go ahead and open your character sheet, and then click, the tab for the character sheet. And then if you look at the skills, where it's red when you hover over the skills, if you just click it, it will roll instantly to the chat box.
Ooh, that's neat.
All right.
That's an 18.
Crap.
Yeah, you are going to know, oh, this girl is traveling with 7 guards and hiding her identity. Probably someone important, but yeah, definitely more than they're letting on.
Well, it's wonderful to meet you. I'm Daphne Sartalia. I possibly could use your bodyguarding if you'd supply it.
She's going to nod and say, "Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. How much were you paying your last contractor?" For you, Ryan, by the way, we didn't discuss the price, but I would say 750 gold for your family's. Yeah, you like they want you well taken care of.
Mommy and Daddy really like me.
I just figured out how cheap a date I am.
I believe it was about 750.
She's going to clap and say, that's splendid. They need additional gear to be outfitted, and you can cover that expense?
Actually, I thank you, but I'm fine.
No, I believe I know what she's talking about, and we probably would need it.
You guys are interesting.
Yes, we are.
Brandon,
what's
the
I'm really
what's
not.
the
That's one
drinking
way to put
age
it.
for Arter Sarai?
I mean, there's no form of identity, or form of ID, but presumably 16.
Haha!
Damn.
Alexander's going up to the bar and getting a ale.
Right.
You said 16 was the age of consent?
No.
No.
Jackal, you're now in timeout. You're now allowed to talk for 20 minutes.
Stay away from everything.
I've been drinking. I'm sorry. I was thinking of two different things.
Yeah, we know.
All right. So Andrea is going to look towards the party, and she's going to say, "Well, introduce yourselves. We have a new benefactor."
Hi, I'm Anderson.
I'm Kenneth Grant. Pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm gonna put my hand over my holy symbol and kind of, like, I'm Lumilia Earthfire, cleric of Soyesa.
Fascinating.
Oh wait, it's Saturday. Oh my gosh.
I feel like that's completely in character
It
for
is.
Lumilia. Just like
He
Sagai.
doesn't know.
I am a rank. I am a rank. All right. Do Alexander, Stradora, or Claw say anything?
Claw
Alexander's over getting a drink.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that.
Claw's going towards the counter and getting like a glass of water right now.
Okay,
that's
those
pretty
two
good.
over there by the bar are Claw and Alex.
Well, it's lovely to meet you all. I'm Daphne Sartalia. I'm not sure if I already introduced myself.
Pleasure to meet you, Lady Daphne, and of course you've met Lady Austin.
Of course.
I'm Stradora.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right. Also, Andrea is going to gesture to herself and say, well, and she looks back to the party and says, from my previously discussed medical condition, I'm gonna have to rest soon, so I'm gonna go.
Yes, I'll go get us 2 rooms for the males. Probably the best way to split it up, I hope.
No.
No?
We
Should probably all room together. Well, let's hope they have a room big enough.
No. I think 2 rooms, maybe even 3. But
There's
Let's see what type of rooms they have and
people
how we can
knowing
split it up.
Name and face.
I'm guessing Lady Daphne would want her own room.
That would be preferred.
I'm gonna actually roll. Daphne has a room already, so yeah, you're set.
Alright.
Okay.
Then 2 rooms should be fine.
Right.
Okay. So, walking to the bartender.
I'm going on my own. I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, the tavern keep. He's going to just shake his head and say, I was betting that mercenary was going to drag that girl out of here. Oh, what will you have? He looks down at you.
We'll get 2 rooms for us.
All right.
Nail.
Oh, where'd you come from?
I mean, I was only like a couple steps that way. Yeah, I just
right.
walked up.
Let's see. In stay, he is going to. He's going to say the room, 2 rooms will run you 4 gold, and seeing as you're all together, he'll put a gallon of ale between Anderson and Alexander, and say it's on the house.
Oh, appreciate it. I'll take 4. Is it 4? Take 4 gold bag counter.
All right. He's going to call down the hallway and say, take over the bar. I'm gonna show some guests up to their room. A man's gonna come back from the back food area, and he's going to, and the tavern keeps going to walk around. He pulls 2 keys out and starts leading you upstairs.
I will follow, and I'll motion the rest to follow.
All right.
At least the ones that need to go up.
Yeah, he's going to lead you to your rooms for the night. The room size, seeing as you had a large party, he's going to give you a pretty good deal on rooms. It's not a big travel season in Ardersarai, so not like it'd be super populated. Yeah, you're gonna get 2 moderate-sized rooms. Each room will have 3 twin beds in it. Or actually, I'm going to roll. One room has 4 twin beds, and the other one has 3.
Oh, nobody has to sleep on the floor. How convenient.
Alright. He hands you the 2 keys. Says, make sure you're cleaned up by sunrise.
Will do.
He's gonna go and start walking back downstairs.
Sunrise in like 3 hours at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, if you sleep in a little bit, he's not gonna be horrified with you. All right. So, how are you guys splitting up the 3 rooms?
Well, you said there was one that has 3 beds and one that has 4.
Yes.
We'll put the girls in the 3 beds, and we'll take the rest of us take 4.
Also, Andreas, Fedora, and Lemilia in 1. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Daphne in her own room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I assume that's how Daphne wants it.
And that's how Daphne doesn't see also Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Everything works.
Everything works out.
While the others are going into the room, wait, is Daphne nearby?
I stayed downstairs.
Okay, I'll tell them. Let's try to get the princess a different face to hide behind.
Well, like... Well, first of all, Stradora is going to, basically slam the bag of gifts into your chest.
Whose chest?
Slam what?
Kenneth's.
Oh, the stuff. Got it.
You get to keep that, since apparently I have to also stay in the room, we might as well, split the difference.
Right.
Shouldn't we just sell that, like, tonight?
Oh, tomorrow. We're gonna need sleep.
Or maybe, like, bury them outside?
Well, here's another idea, guys.
Put them in Daphne's room.
Dress in there, we could burn it.
If I might make an idea,
Go ahead.
maybe it would be good for Claw me Stradora to take the bag and go to a different inn.
We already bought
Rena
the
can
room, so
spry on us.
Or, I mean, I don't mind sleeping outside. Like, we could just.
It's
camp
not
out.
that you guys need to.
Ooh.
Or we could put those 3 in one room and the other 4 in one if we can deal with boys and girls together.
Well, that's not.
I think that's the smartest idea, honestly.
Yeah, whoever
Second
was
more?
seen go in the 3-bedroom room and everyone else in the 4-bedroom room.
That works
With
for
the bag of
everybody.
stuff that she knows that we have, so that way.
Takes the bag.
How much can she figure out from just that?
I mean. Yeah.
Granted, I don't know at all how divining works, but
Yeah, anybody who wants can give me a free Arcana check for listening to Reyna talk when she was on the road.
ooh, fun. Oh,
The DCs are going to be different for everybody.
Alright. I can.
Everybody
Did I hit
who
it?
heard... No, you did not.
We have the same
okay.
save, Willow.
So, Anderson, Claw, Kenneth, and Alexander are going to pick up on this information. Reyna said she scried on the objects in the carriage, and when she arrived, she also had no idea you guys were inside of there. Based on how scrying works, there's probably some sort of way the sensor appears that would prevent, complete knowledge. Like, she knew where the carriage was, but she didn't know, what was all inside of the carriage. That said, you guys could probably stash, like, the items or the, or cover up, like, the people or something of that nature. Super uncomfortable to sleep under a blanket the whole time, but, she can look in your direction magically, but what she sees could still, like, the sensor can still be blocked. Like, if that makes sense.
So covering us up from what it sounds like and making sure the bags are put inside of something like a storage closet. Probably the best idea that I can come up with.
I like that.
We could ask the tavern. I'm not there. Don't mind me.
We could see if our new benefactor would hold on to it.
I'm not gonna put her. We just got hired to protect her, and you want to put an angry archmage in her way.
that's not.
Reyna wouldn't hurt an innocent.
You don't.
We're
know
100%
that.
on that.
She seemed more than willing to hurt us.
In the last couple of hours, I've heard it said that that woman once put a lightning blade through a man's chest and supposedly rattled Corwin's mind. Nothing makes sense anymore, boyo.
I'm just going to try and sleep with my head covered. That's the best I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I still think it'd be better if 3 of us stayed in a room together, as much as that might seem uncomfortable in that situation. But for safety's sake, I think that would be the most optimal way of dispersing. We could store the stuff. Hell, we could store the stuff back in the carriage.
It's fine. We'll just store the stuff in the room. You guys are really
Again, there's a storage.
this.
Again, like I said, storage closet.
There's
Most.
a storage closet in the inn room.
Yes.
Put it in a closet.
Like the little closet that every room comes with.
Put it in the closet. Close the door.
Yes, every inn room comes with a storage closet.
Not everyone.
All inn
You
rooms
guys
have
have
the standard.
You guys have a nice room.
Still, I'm just making a point.
You
I don't
know.
even think we've entered this room yet.
Anyways, I'm gonna get what little sleep I can. And Claw's gonna head into, I guess, the 3 room and cover his head.
Oh, I was like, wait.
Alright, so you guys divide the party, the 3 people that were seen and then the 4 people who weren't seen?
Yes.
Guess so.
And then Daphne in her own room? Okay. Alright. I'm gonna roll you guys an event die for the night.
Oh, you're decked.
Are you abducted? You've already been abducted.
We have not been abducted, we've abducted.
Debatable. But anyways, you guys are going to, or rather, you guys are going to be able to rest for the night. And yeah, everybody's going to wake up pleasantly mid-morning for it is the 22nd of Noble is the day. Alright, let's see. Everybody is going to wake up, and I think Andrea is going to start by casting. Yeah, she's going to start by casting Disguise Self on herself. Be nice if she could do that as a ritual.
Did she do what I recommended and try to change her appearance a little?
Oh no, I did not hear you recommend that. I thought you said that to the rest of the party. She went upstairs already into a room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why she was not participating in that.
I was telling them to tell her to do that. The people that I was thinking Stradora and people who were going to go with her.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point, like, I'm gonna rule that, she looks like her, for now, but maybe in the, future. And somebody brings it up, they're just gonna say, but I like the way my face looks. Mom always said I was...
It's weird.
That will be me
disguise
going...
herself right after meeting Daphne, though.
Yeah. And she's gonna say, Mom always said I was the, cutest princess on this continent.
Lies.
Dang.
Because I'm the cutest.
I'm the cutest.
Oh boy.
Didn't you have a crush on this girl?
Yeah, I did.
We're gonna have a cute off.
It was a very short-lived crush.
It's
Yeah. Everybody is going to eventually, at one point or another, wake up, make their way downstairs, clean out of the inn room, and the whole party at some point is together.
On my stupid chainmail.
Yep, we are.
Man,
at
it feels
least
so nice just to walk
know.
out and not have to worry about armor.
I am not wearing I am not wearing fancy clothes.
I'm not wearing pants.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Andrea is still in a elaborate dress, but she's got the cloak thrown over her.
I mean, she is our charge, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Well, how elaborate a dress would she really be in? She was disguised.
Good point.
That's a good point. That is a good point. But for the sake, I'm just going to say that she was wearing the same dress as the princess was wearing, or rather, the disguised apprentice was wearing for her, as they had to see each other to take on each other's appearances.
So less fancy than the princesses.
Yeah. Anyways, once the whole party is together, she's going to say, so I was thinking we could go find a jeweler, perhaps see if we could find some more of these necklaces, and then go to the Niatin estate. She's going to look towards Daphne and say, I heard you tell your guard said you knew the Niatin heir?
Yes, I do.
It sounded like you had an incident with him, Lady Daphne. Maybe know what that was?
Not really. I just unveiled something.
What is it? Is it his lack of a spine?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Fedora.
Sometimes you just have to give someone a little push, if you know what I mean.
Why do I feel like this push was more literal than figurative?
Oh no, I never pushed him.
That would require work.
Ramon, were you about to be like, damn girl, can you not like just insult the man?
Also, Andrea is going to speak up and say, well, I hope we can use your relationship with him to get inside of the manor. His father was killed last night, so I won't be surprised if there are lots of visitors.
Oh, yes, perhaps we could get in with that. I don't know about me showing my face to him, but...
What did you do to the poor boy?
Just humiliated him a little bit.
Why?
Maybe we have some
How?
Kind of weird.
Because she
Can
could.
Interject that I don't know if it's prevalent to know why she insulted him. Just the factor that she did could
Yes.
cause issues of her trying to get us in.
It's not about what I did exactly, it's just the fact that I might not have a super easy time getting you in.
Well, how else are we gonna do it? She's made him mad. We can't exactly use Ozzy's
I mean, I
credentials.
can... Well...
And none of us have. No, I don't think the rest of us exactly have credentials.
Asu Andrea is going to clap and say, what does everybody love more than their favorite stew?
Chocolate?
Jewelry?
Money.
A good
Actually-
sword.
She's going to say, humility. If you insulted him and embarrassed him, if we take you to apologize, they would love to welcome you in.
Alternative
Oh.
thought.
Isn't my dad inspecting that
Turns
location?
to look
right now?
at Daphne. Are you capable of humility?
I don't know about that, dear.
Well, like, no, I want
I
to.
like her. She's honest.
Claude, didn't he come up to you asking that he wanted to talk to you that night?
He did, asking for my sword to swear to his house, and my dad is currently investigating his estate.
Maybe
Are
we could
literally
use
all
that.
are all of you incapable of going to this man's house?
I mean, I don't know if I'm incapable because
Actually,
of
I
who's there, except for my father.
Do you know if he follows Soyesa? I could go to express condolences.
You know what? I mean, I could just go as my family representative.
Could I roll a history check to see if I actually would know that?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's religion?
Thing you kill people for.
Oh yeah. Wait.
I only
Gets
know
out the
that
little
he's a
text
coward,
box.
and it's funny to laugh at him.
I'll also allow it as a religion check too. I don't know if you're trained in that any better.
No.
And I have one final question for you before I give you the results of that roll. Do you have your Jack of all trades applied to your sheet? You do. Okay, cool.
Yes.
All right. So,
Yeah, 0 intelligence, bro.
Hey!
Oh wait, you have 1 because it's a too low level.
all right. So, you are going to know that the Niatans are devout about one of the four ascended. Which one you're not certain.
Well,
Really
the
narrows
thing
it down.
is, I don't really do religion much. Don't really care. Not to offend, but
No problem.
That's taken.
Okay, so we can also use me as the representative of the Alberea family.
I'm sure I could to get us in. It's just a matter of being really charming with it.
You seem like a charming gal.
Thanks, I try.
We could just sneak in.
It feels suspect.
I feel like we're running out of options.
We're also running out of daylight.
And we're
But the
also
day just
already
started.
wanted.
We could abduct him.
You guys are wanted.
Sure, why don't we just double down?
I like Kenneth's idea, mostly because I don't like the alternative.
Okay, I was afraid my microphone wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't want to have to.
I mean, it's the least
Did I hear that you're wanted?
aggressive. That's a good word, aggressive.
I'm always wanted.
I'll wink back.
Oh, good.
Also, Andrea is
continues.
also Andrea is going to clap again and say, "Okay, let's go get the necklaces because Reyna will be resting up pretty soon. We want to make sure that we can stay out of her vision, so we can investigate and then we can get back to the castle."
We're
Lady
just blowing the
Elsie.
cover here, hun.
Manner.
Oh! She looks at Daphne and says, "Yes, I'm just a lady who has business in the castle."
I didn't expect anything more.
Lady Elsie, you might also want to don a different appearance if Claw's father is there.
Mm-hmm.
First things first, we should sell these precious gifts.
Yes, let's offload
Let's go
these
do that.
gifts,
We
please.
can maybe split up, avoid some hassle.
Right?
You want to do the same
wanna do
idea?
that?
The three of us will go and try to hawk these off, and the rest of you try to cure some of those necklaces.
Sure. Lady Daphne, we have the payment for us to procure our equipment.
I suppose so.
Would you like to come along with us, or would you like to go with Lady Ossie?
I'd like to go to get the jewelry. Might be more fun that way.
Fantastic.
All right.
DM, how much do I pay them? Do I have the money on me? I didn't think I did.
Yeah, I would say you would have the sack of gold for traveling.
Alright.
So yeah, you can hand them 750 gold worth of gemstones and gold coins.
Alright. Here you are. I hope this is sufficient.
Takes a large sack of gemstones.
I will take this bag,
Oh,
put it in my backpack,
gives the large gemstones up.
and I will give Stradora back the bag of gifts. Here.
Touche. Well, no, I took that back.
So the party leaves the inn?
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay.
And we're gonna go find ourselves a pawn
Um,
shop.
It just occurred to me we might want to have a story for where we got these gifts.
That's why we have Daphne. She can use her good looks and charm.
Oh no, she's
Wow,
not going
thank
with you
you.
guys.
She's not going with you.
One of them was
If
delivered made
necessary.
And I'll use my good looks and charm.
Alright.
And they look at you and be like, "Oh, you're adorable. You're like 14."
All right. As you step out of the inn, there is a woman inspecting the carriage.
Oh no.
Her
She's
clothes are incredibly tattered and torn in places. She's looking over it. She's going to notice the party and turn around and say, "Ah, there you are." She's going to walk up to you guys as you come out of the inn. And she says, "Well, I taught that archmage a thing or two. She's back at Zenith Rise licking her wounds." I had...
glad to see you're okay.
She's going to nod. And she's going to look at Asu Andrea and say, "Something is coming back to my memory." As she stares at Asu Andrea.
She's quite beautiful, isn't she?
Adorable, the little one is.
Yeah,
I'm making an insight check on her to see if I see, if this is actually the woman that helped us escape, or if this is somebody in a disguise.
Go ahead.
That was the insight check.
This picture isn't showing up on her.
Oh, okay, you're not? Let's see. Let me try and show it to you again. That's weird that it's not showing up.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, cool. Alright, yes, it is Corwin. Same speaking mannerisms from last night. Same smell of lightning bolt getting hit from Reyna from last night. Regardless... Go ahead.
I'm gonna go up to also Andrea and Daphne and be like, my ladies, shall we go begin the shopping while they handle this?
That sounds brilliant.
They hand them the gifts.
As they begin walking off, she's gonna snap and say, "Ah! I know, I've seen you! Or not you, but those eyes!"
Eyes are normal.
She nods and says, "Yes, I have. Of Oro.
Do I know that name? I wouldn't know that name. What am I talking about?
Would I know that name?
Yeah.
Just so you know, Oro is also Andrea's father.
Yeah, but I don't think I know that as a player. I don't think.
Yeah.
Brian did.
That.
And
I know that.
Yeah, Claw would know that name.
Oro, you mean
I would probably know
Oro? You mean Oro Oswin?
She nods and says, "Yes, I saw him last month. Last month I did."
What?
Stordora's kind of look confused, not because like this is a grand. You know that moment when like somebody like unveils their cloak and it's like it's me, Dio, and you're like. They've never been introduced at all until this episode, so you're just like, I feel it in my bones, but it's not landing. Yeah.
Did I get also
Stordora does not know the weight of this reveal.
I mean, she stopped, like, looking back at,
okay, so she
Corwin.
can still hear all this.
Would this be weird to me?
Roll me a history check for Daphne, because this might be super interesting to her.
For our Dorian royalty?
Yes, she loves gossip.
I
does.
do. Oh, man.
Okay, so you're not gonna know much about the name Oro, but if you have any inclination that this is like the princess you're dealing with, you do know there was a huge heartbreak between the magnate and her husband. And that's about, like, it. Like, what the rest of this is, who knows? Like, it was...
Some tea.
Yeah. And, also Andrea is going to turn and say, "What do you know about him?" She's going to shrug and say, "I think he's living on a farm raising livestock." And she's, and also Andrea's going to say, "You're lying. How? Corwin is going to shrug and say, "I would never withhold information from you. Besides, I need to get some rest from..." She's going to roll a history check. Yeah. She's going to rub her head and say, "I don't know. He and his wife would come to visit me once a month."
His wife?
Stordora's still confused.
Oro,
Charming woman, long red hair. I think she's dangerous. She shakes her head and says, "Regardless, I think their farm is somewhere west of here."
Thank you
No.
for this information.
Go ahead and get some rest. I might need to talk to my auntie here soon.
She's going to nod and say, "I hope our paths cross again. I'm glad you weren't killed on this thing." She gestures back to the carriage.
Yeah, I'm pretty tough. It's in my blood.
She's
for your help.
And she's going to roll a final history check, and she's going to say, "Oh, by the way," pointing to Austria-Andrea, if you are the princess, you probably only have a day or so before the city's swarmed with knights. Reyna might be hurt, but the rest of the Magnate's army isn't.
Okay, we have a deadline. Thank you.
Yep. And there goes our cover.
Well, there goes our cover.
There goes the cover. Hi, I'm Kenneth
What cover do we
Alberea.
have?
As they're turning to the party, after she leaves.
Well, Stradora's gonna give her like 4 gold. So she can, get some sleep. And maybe some nice clothes.
You just keep
speaking of
helping me.
clothes,
She ruffles
I'm actually-
Stradora's head, or hair, and is going to walk by.
Speaking of clothes, I'm not sure if I mentioned, I did take off like my fancy like overcoat, and I'm just wearing like the undershirt and like some basic pants I found.
I have trousers now.
Claw is going to speak up when she leaves and says, Oro was the magnate's husband.
Oh!
Oh, the one who held all the teeth a while back. Oh, excuse me, that was out of character.
It's like, wait, I don't know that.
For now, let's put this. For now, that is second priority. Let's focus on what we need to do right.
Are you okay, Lady Aussie?
She's going to nod, looking a little pensive, and then say, "Okay, we get the necklaces, we sell the items, we talk to the Niatans, and then we find that farm, and then we go back to the castle."
Right. No complication. Yeah.
And we have less than a day to do so.
Right.
We have less than a day to get out of Somar Villa.
Let's go.
All right.
We do know we cannot meet the Niatans. We are getting out of here.
Claw,
Yeah.
Stradora, you're with
Yeah.
me. We're selling the items. Let's go.
Well, fine.
Yep.
Okay. Let's
Back at Alessandria and Daphne is like.
Let's see. I am going to handle 2 sets of die. Okay, and somebody from each group, roll me an investigation check and a D100. Since you guys split the party in 2.
Can it be a perception check?
Can I do it?
Yeah, go for it. So Lumilia,
Is it perception or
Asuandria, and
investigation?
Daphne are together. It's
And-
investigation.
Well, I think me and Anderson would have gone with them. With a
Yeah, okay. And Anderson.
Wait, I forgot I have a -1 investigation.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
so I'll do
mind.
it. I can do it. I'll do it. I will do it if someone would like to help me to give advantage. Like look
Oh, wait,
around and
I can cast
stuff, 'cause
guidance
I don't.
on him.
Okay, go for it.
Guidance would be nice.
I'm gonna touch him and cast guidance.
Alright, so guided.
Ramble something about Soyas's guidance.
Go ahead, Willow, and say that prayer for me.
Oh boy. With
You're praying to the DM.
Yes,
The flames guidance.
yes, with the guidance of the flames, your foes will appear before you. Sure.
Alright,
There you go.
go for it.
Do we want our foes to appear before us?
Fire god worshiper helping a water god. Huh.
It's cute that you
Oh.
think I'm actually a worshiper.
That's
damn.
great.
Now roll 4 on your D4.
You're welcome.
For the fun. For the lulz.
Yes! My God.
I will never roll better.
My
in the
God.
campaign.
We peaked.
Our
My
God.
God.
Huh.
Alright.
It's water and fire.
I mean, it's recorded. Just landed at 20, but you gotta hit DCs. So we hit 25.
I actually rolled 1d4, so I'm gonna roll you guys 2d4 instead. Okay. Okay.
You also need to roll.
Yeah, somebody else roll me for the other group an investigation check, or
Oh,
if you
no,
want to
which one of
test
us
your
is
luck,
good at
just give me a
investigation?
D100.
I know this place at the back
I'm
of
only
my
a
hand.
+1?
Apparently.
I'm a +3. I
It's
actually have
Alexander. When Alexander.
Oh shit!
What is going on tonight? What is going on tonight?
You guys are
Nat
cheating.
20.
You guys are like,
Fire.
What
How
are
many
you?
nat 20s have we had?
What
We
is
have now had a total of 5 nat 20s.
what is going on
Remember,
tonight?
Bad, like
Unfortunately,
5?
We've had 5 net 20s.
What
I
is
wish we
going
had,
on? Okay.
I wish we had real dice. No, these would be the good ones.
All right.
See, I
So-
wanted to bring up as well 2 of them
If Dice
from,
Jail
from
needs to
2
go into
different
Dice
people.
Heaven.
I'm going to say for the group selling the items back, you are able to find somebody interested in each and every one of these in the market square. And who's all in that group? Hit me with some names.
Claw.
Dora.
Okay. All right. And
Since we were this group, we're trying to stay away from the others until we cannot be seen.
yeah, give me real quick. What is Stradora's passive perception?
My passive perception is a 13.
Okay. 13. What is Alexander's passive perception?
Well,
12. Okay. Passive 12. I'm making character cards so I don't have to ask you guys every single time. And Claws is a 15. Okay. Alright. So, you guys are, let's see, there is the Dreamcatcher, there is the
Yes.
dress, there is there's the dagger, there is the...
We can't sell the dagger. That's a historical artifact.
You don't have to sell
I don't
the...
think
You don't have to sell the
think-
dagger. Oh no, you don't have the dagger. Yeah, you don't have the dagger.
We don't have the dagger.
So there's the dress.
Put it in the shame bin.
There's the dress. There's the dream catcher. And is there any other item I'm forgetting?
There's also the,
Oh, the compass. The compass.
also the ruby, the ruby of the war mage.
Did she bring the mithril?
Oh yeah, the mithril and the ruby of the war
she
mage.
brought my dress.
Okay.
My 43 worth gold dress.
Yeah, I'm
As you
gonna.
cry, I'll put a hand on his shoulder.
Well, no, I would cry if you ended up burning it. If we're selling it, at least someone's gonna have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say each item you guys are able to get 40 gold from, or 45 gold from, easy peasy.
Each item?
Yes.
so.
I
45.
was like,
is that?
oh my god, how are you selling this very
let's
expensive
see.
dress? Just shut up.
I think that's 5.
Yeah, that's 225 gold that you guys are able to get from this.
Add it to the sack.
All right.
Oh wait, my sack. Kenneth isn't with us. Add it to my sack.
Quickly, into my sack.
Let's see. 1, 2.
Or did you need me to roll a D100, or was that?
Nope, I'm rolling it for myself. Okay. The compass. Or wait, no, that wouldn't make sense. I'm gonna go with. I'm actually gonna change this roll. I'm gonna say the Dreamcatcher. You know
Okay.
what? If I'm changing it, I'm gonna change it to the one that makes the most sense. The Dreamcatcher, you are going to sell to a woman or a girl going through the market square. And she barters for it off of you, and you are going to take notice as she gives you her name is Maria. One of the things that draws your attention to her is she's selling oxen, which kind of seems out of place for her to have so much gold. But otherwise,
We'll take her money.
Yeah. Otherwise,
She has a character card. That's disturbing.
otherwise you
She's actually an assassin.
yeah. Otherwise, you're able to pawn off all of the goods. All right, everybody else in the other group, I rolled 2d4. You are going to find a merchant in this market square who has just set up with a cart and has and the cart has like all of these fold out cabinets and all of these different charms. Walking up to him and asking him about these amulets. He's going to inspect the one on Osuandria before casting Detect Magic on it. Finally, he's going to pull out a small dark wooden box, the wood almost blackened, and he opens it up, and inside, sitting on the black satin in here, are 4 similar necklaces. And he's going to say, if you're up to no good, these will definitely hide you from the diviners.
Or
How much for them, darling?
That's quite the sales pitch you got there.
Mm-hmm. He is going to say, normally I'd sell each one for about 250 gold. But since you're buying the whole lot of them, 200 gold apiece?
that's more than we have.
Who do you work for exactly?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Anderson, I have a back.
He is going to... he's going to say, well, I tried joining the Ruby Alliance. However, I mostly trade only inside the country. Don't go across borders much. So, joined the Nakard Alliance
Oh,
a few years ago.
they're dear friends of mine. That son. What is his name out of character?
Kiris Niatin.
I forgot to click my button.
No, just like an actual. His son up. Fuck, what was his name?
Kiris Niatin?
No,
That's fine. But go ahead and go ahead and say what you're going to say, and then go roll me a persuasion check along with it.
No, but I can't remember. I'm asking you what the name was for the son.
Yeah, Kiris Niatin.
Kiris. He's a dear friend of mine. We've been friends since childhood. He'd be very distraught if, it wasn't up to snuff with our sales. And can I cast Charm Person?
Mm-hmm.
Straight
So-
to the magic roofies. Okay.
Now, real quick,
No, this ain't Magic Roofie.
before you cast Charm Person, please do know that Charm Person has a verbal and somatic component to it.
Does
So-
it really?
Yeah, he's going to see
Are you sure it's
casting.
verbal? I thought it was just somatic.
Well, it might have both.
Verbal and somatic.
Yeah.
For charm person, though. Like, this
Dang,
one that was in
okay.
the illusion
I'll just
category.
do Persuasion then. I didn't know that.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I was going to let you, but I was just warning you. Okay. Yes, it's verbal and somatic. But go ahead and roll me that persuasion check.
Okay. Sorry, I got lost in my character sheet. No!
14 is not bad.
I was hoping for a nat.
Good.
I was hoping for the nat 20 to trend to continue.
Me too. I
Yeah.
felt really bad this campaign though.
Alright. He's gonna, rub his chin and say, you know the young lord?
I do. We've been friends since childhood. Did you hear that he got horribly embarrassed the other day?
He's gonna say, well, if you're good friends with him, if you can just put in a good word for let's give this guy a name. Not that you ever have to remember it. He's gonna say,
Donovan.
yeah, if you can put in a good name for Valek Donovan, I'd greatly appreciate it. I hear the Niatins are coming out ahead on the Nakard Alliance as the most soul-sworn pledge to them.
They are. They're splendid. I'm so proud of him. He's
He's
gonna go very far in this world, I think.
alright, I can part with the necklaces for 180 gold apiece.
Sorry, that was out of character laughing.
It's 80 gold. Shave right off.
Mhm.
Makes it
That works.
Alright,
Thank you, dear. I'll be sure to put in a good word.
he's gonna
You
hand
very
you
much helped our cause.
He's going to hand you the box and gesture for the funds.
I will give him the 720 worth of gold.
All right. Hey, look, and you guys made a little bit of money too.
Yeah, we got 30 left.
All right.
Woo!
So is Stradora here?
I don't know. Did we find the party as they were negotiating? For
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys would have someplace else to meet up. So yeah, we can just fast forward through that then.
Meet at the town.
Curses!
Swear
There was Stradora-based information in that room.
Oh no.
Oh well.
Wait, there was Stradora-based information where?
You asked
implied.
You implied it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you guys are going to all meet up together. And let's see. I'm gonna say you meet up on the eastern part of town. Somewhere in the northern part of the Two Gardens. And those of you who are aware of like where the Niatin estates are, like this would be like almost knocking on their front door. You could see their manor rising above the others.
Do they
around
sit
here.
in the in Lady Nakart's house, or do they have a different?
No, they do not. Looking up at like the citadel in the center of the town, it's hard to tell if it's even occupied.
Fair.
All right. So the whole party's together. As such, Oswandria is going to make sure Stradora gets a necklace.
Eudora, was it Alexander and Claw?
Don't I have to attune to this?
Let's see. Yes, you do.
We don't got that kind of time.
Mm-hmm. That's fine. Reyna's probably resting. Or does Stradora say that out loud?
I mean, if I know how attunement works.
Yeah, Oswandria is going to say, well, you guys just sit here and focus on those. I can sneak inside with my magic and see...
I'm going with you.
I'll go as well.
And she'll nod and say, alright, and while you attune, we'll be right back out. Hopefully things will be smoothed over, then we'll be on our way to the farm in the west.
Things are gonna
Wait,
go
farm?
horribly wrong. You guys be ready to run.
Why are we going to the farm? We're going right back to the capital.
You would deny her the chance to find her father?
Where were you?
Apparently not. I missed this. I stepped away to use the bathroom.
Oh!
We found out where Oro is. Supposedly.
Oh, okay, no, if we know that, then never mind. No problem.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like, what are you talking about? Her dad? You remember when Corwin told us where he was?
Anderson's a good boy who wants to go home.
Alright, so...
But my dad's really worried, guys!
Come on, what's your point?
Yeah.
Grumble and sit. Right in the middle of the goddamn road.
I mean,
For an hour.
There'd be a bench out here. It's a nice city.
No, I'm making a point. I'm throwing a tantrum. A quiet tantrum that allows me to actually attune to an item.
Alexander, can you please move her to a bench?
I'm going to find a spot that's a little bit more secluded. Basically, I'm going to stealth before I'm going to actually start attuning to this, if that's okay.
I mean, I want to come with, but I'm not very good at sneaking around.
If
Well, no,
I'm
I'm-
in, I could always cause a scene.
I'm not sneaking in, I'm stealthing so I can attune to this item so I don't get seen. Or don't make a scene.
Yeah. She's going to point towards Lumilia and say, yes, let's try first with Daphne, and then, or Lady Daphne, and if not, then Scene. And we can sneak by.
I can do that.
Sure, I'll help cause a distraction.
I would love
Liberal
to
use
do
of
that.
thaumaturgy.
Oh, I was just going to start breaking shit.
Oh, no, I was going to
No.
go on a speech about Soyas's grand plans for the world.
Oh dear.
A bunch of
on
magic
fire.
effects.
I would love to have a background. I would love to do background. I can't speak.
Take
I
a
know those.
second, gather your thoughts.
I would love to be a background accompaniment.
All right.
I can only keep sounds going for about a minute, unfortunately.
Plenty of time.
I can help with that.
Also, it's a cantrip. You can just keep casting.
What's the item that we got again? What's it called?
It is a amulet of proof against detection and location.
Okay, thank you. I just need to know where it is, so I have it on my sheet.
Yeah, you can search it in the compendium if you want to drag it to your sheets for those who pick
I
it
am.
up. Okay.
And I stealthed before I started attuning, so I am hidden.
Yeah, just hiding behind a bush behind the bench that Shador is angrily concentrating on.
We have a fourth one that no. Just keeping that in my bag. Just in case.
Okay. All
I
right.
was like, I don't need it.
So, Daphne, Lumilia, Suandria, and Kenneth are heading into the manor.
Yep.
Let's go!
All right. Walking up to the front. Actually, let me pull out my plans of this place.
Oh no, he's got a board.
I do have
I
a
told you we were
board.
going to a mansion.
I have a Nyatin. I have a Nyatin manor rolled up.
Totally no combat, fellas.
No, I hope there's no combat. You made your paladin sit outside.
It's fine. All
Don't
right.
worry, we have the barbarian.
All right. So the Nyatin house is a large manor. It is 4 floors, a little bit taller than the other buildings around it, and the way it's built, there's actually, I could just upload this picture.
Where in the city is the Nyatin Manor?
It is going to be around this park, and I'll say it's that one right there. I don't know if you can see that.
I can see it a little bit.
A bit of it.
Yeah, it's not big. There are lots of families like vying over the control of the Nakart family or the Nakart Alliance. And when I say the Nyatins are ahead, like out of the 60,000 that pledge to her, they probably have like 7,000 people. They're not like.
Is this
Well, I mean, now they're down ahead, so...
just a question?
Yes.
I'm also competing for this, correct? This was something we discussed. I'm sorry if that's...
No, that's fine. So, yes and no. Your family is in the Nakart Alliance. Your family is not trying to be the head of the Nakart Alliance. Now, Daphne herself could have that goal. As, there was like a romantic entanglement between her and Kiris. Which would... which would...
Oh, you straight up destroyed that boy's dream.
Oh my.
I support it.
He has to show who is the dominant member of this relationship.
It was me.
I was about to say. I've had 2 interactions with the boy. It was not him.
He is definitely not someone who wears a pants.
All right. So,
He does, but Daphne picked them out.
Alright, there are several towers protruding from the manor, overlooking people stepping in. At the front door, there's going to be a single guard as you come and knock on it. He's going to look at the 3. He's going to look at the 3 of you, or 4 of you, and say, my lords, ladies, what brings you to the Nyatin Estates today?
I just wanted to check in. I heard what happened, and I wanted to wish my condolences in person.
Alright. Let's see if he recognizes Daphne. He does not recognize Daphne. Well,
How do you
know,
not recognize me? I mean,
the guards? Yeah, the guards have to rotate out. And he's gonna say, "I'll summon the steward. Your names?"
Daphne Sarchalia.
Oh, Lady Sarchalia. He bows.
Oh, it's no issue.
Asu Andrea is going to say, Lady Asu, and he's going to nod, looking towards Kenneth and Lumilia.
Kenneth Alberea.
Sagai, Lumilia, Earthfire.
He's going to bow briefly before stepping in. After a minute, he opens the door. There's going to be a man in a black suit and robe walking through the hallway as the guard has the door open. And he's going to say, "May I introduce the steward of the grounds, Lord Seas." And the man in the black robes is going to gesture for the guard to take its post. After the party steps out inside, he's going to close the door behind him. Seas is going to say, first the lieutenant this week, then Knights of the Magnate, and now nobles coming by to send our condolences. Their condolences. It is a terrible loss for our house, but things must keep functioning. The young lord is, however, busy grappling with the new duties thrust upon him. Perhaps I can deliver your message to him.
Okay, out of character, what are we here for?
Alessandria wants to know why his dad wanted to stab her to death.
Well, we don't,
right.
want them to know this.
Because we don't know how stabby Kyrith wants to get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, alright. So,
Mainly
do we
just
need
we
to
want to
talk
meet him.
directly? I presume?
Say it again.
Do we need to talk to him directly, I presume? Talking out of character to you guys, because I missed the first session that
It's the
I
kind
haven't
of thing
seen
you want to do
anything.
in person.
Okay.
like it's a dumb idea, but we're going along with it.
I'm gonna step forward and be like, if the Lord has a moment to spare, I wish to give him the blessing of Soyesa.
Roll me a deception check.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel like it's a lie of omission more than an actual lie.
I can't give him a blessing of Soyesa. Can I do that with persuasion?
He's going to say often the blessing of Soyesa involves blind justice, upon which the magnate has already delivered last night.
Crap.
So maybe not the right.
I forgot that's what Soyesa does.
I would like to remind him why his dad's dead.
There's a reason I rolled her like this.
And
Give me like 5 seconds to think. I'm horrible at improv.
You're a character.
Yeah, Asu Andrea is going to say, well, if he's busy, we can just wait around, perhaps. The steward is going to say, I don't think that would at all be proper.
We've been childhood friends for years. I'm sure we know each other. We've met, haven't we not?
This might be time for Charm Person.
Perhaps.
Wait.
In character.
Like, you whisper that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead
Make
and
a
just
stealth
give me a
check.
stealth check on that. Just like, it might
This
be
is a
time for
mistake.
charm
It
person.
is a mistake, but it's funny.
This is a mistake.
He's going to say, excuse me. Asu Andrea is going to grab his arm and turn him around and say, no, please don't. They really want to see,
I apologize.
she really wants
for
to see
my
her
companion.
friend.
I
Go ahead.
haven't seen him since before that happened, and I'm worried about him. I'm hungry.
He's going to roll his eyes and say, I can tell by your desperation that you are eager to speak with him.
He's calling me Sprit.
He did. Or he's going to say, are you not?
Are you not?
She just like grinds her teeth a little bit.
He's
I suppose I am. I just... And I'm going to fake cry.
That will be a performance.
Is it
Or deception.
performance test?
Or deception, I don't know.
I mean, both work. Crocodile tears.
Crocodile tears.
He's going to. Oh, go ahead. You can roll a performance. I'll allow that. And based on this, I'll tell you what happens next. If you want to. You don't have to if you don't want to.
How violently
No,
did they get kicked out?
21!
Alright. He's going to say... Lady Sarchalia, please, calm down. Come... Alright. See yourself to the dining room, and I'll have the servants prepare a small meal. He's in the meeting with the Nazram lieutenant. As soon as it's done, I'll see to it that the young lord comes and greets you.
Thank you.
Apologize for any
I
trouble
expect tea.
Immediately dries up. Tea, please.
Yeah, just pats.
Did I
Pats
just
the
play
face.
myself?
He shows you guys to the dining room, and then he closes the door and says, I will fetch the lord.
Are we alone?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'll turn to Daphne and say, you're good.
I know, dear. I know. I've done this a lot.
Concern?
I feel sorry for your parents.
As
I'm
I
sorry for your household.
Honestly, I'm not going to pretend with you guys, because you guys are,
Working for you?
you're working for me.
as,
There's better
You just
people to
do what I
play
say.
as you guys are saying that, also Andrea is going to be staring at the door, and she's going to turn around and whisper and say, Nazaram Lieutenant? Don't they, kill undead people on, the other side of the world?
What I hear?
My one
Sarah,
area of
so yes,
potential expertise. And I'm...
Why
You're
would
on
they
a
be
bench,
talking to
sulking.
them?
I wonder indeed. Maybe something about demons.
Asu
It's about
Oh, go ahead.
demons. Nothing. I was...
Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. I just was...
Yeah. If nobody's stopping her, also Andrea has taken out her spell book, and she's
My
gonna say,
lady,
"Go ahead."
it may only have been that they were in contact with his father.
Remember
he
what
may
his
not
father...
be related to them.
I don't think it's safe for the princess to be here anymore.
It's not. It never
Nazaram's
was.
a perfectly
I mean-
good organization!
Remember what
I mean,
her
I'm sorry,
father
I'm sitting
said?
angry in a road.
Okay, Nazaram is as safe as Soyesa's followers is, and they started a war.
Yeah, remember the Heart of Embers? Good people.
Great people. They killed
They weren't vampire
one
people.
merchant.
She's going to take out her spellbook and say, I'm going to show you an old trick I learned at the castle whenever you wanted to listen to a meeting you weren't invited to. She begins casting Disguise Self on herself again.
I like
Do
you.
that often?
And she is going to change herself to look like the guard outside.
I like it.
But Disguise Self does not change your voice.
But that's okay, because the guards were never meant to speak.
Yeah, exactly. She's going to say, my sickness isn't unknown. If the steward returns, tell him that I had to rest for a moment, and I will be back. She's going to step out of the room.
I'm not even sure. All of her.
I really don't feel like she should go alone, but I don't
Right.
go with her.
But it's like, I don't know how we can go with her without immediately blowing everything.
Yep, that's the problem.
It is quite nerve-wracking. She is the princess, right?
Yeah, you figured that out by now.
Okay, alright.
Princess
Yeah, she's
also
not very
has
good at
to
hiding it.
love.
She's quite
We tried.
beautiful.
She
Yeah.
is.
Her face.
Cute kid.
It is. She fled with us after an attempt on her life.
Oh, that's what I missed.
By the father of the person he went off.
Oh yeah, no, and his father got decapitated by her mother.
Oh, that's.
That's what happened. Yeah.
That's why
In
we're
front
kind of
all
like.
us.
Oh.
I just heard he died.
That's
I
Kind of why we're like, she should not go alone. We don't have spells.
Well, to catch you up, he basically
Hey, real
attempted to
quick.
kill her.
Real quick. Daphne,
Yes.
when you ask, is that her real face? Lumilia starts twiddling her thumbs at, like, when she's like, yeah, it is.
I was
Otherwise,
very
you may
specific
continue.
not to answer. Dang it, Brandon.
Well, she's quite beautiful.
Indeed.
She is. But no, to catch you up, basically, Nagar's father attempted to kill her with a very powerful weapon. He got decapitated for treason. His son, who was watching the whole thing, also almost died, but was able to be spared by pledging loyalty with a sword to his throat. And then she really wanted to come here to find out why his father attempted to kill her. I doubt he knows, and I really feel like this is a bad idea, but we're just kind of along for the ride at this point.
I think we're doing a horrible
Okay,
job.
out of character here. How much do I know about this kid?
About
I know
Kyrus
that
Niacin?
history, but like, how
Yeah.
much do I trust him?
Kyrus?
Yes.
He's a good kid. You would know he does not have his father's ambitions or any ambitions whatsoever. He just kind of wants to be, and his father kind of pushes him along. You know, I told you he was
your typical rich kid riding off his father's success.
Yeah, I told you, you know, he was
Can't blame
pushed
him,
into he was pushed into the trying to get you to give him, you know, the oath blade and the same, and that's just kind of been his whole life. It's just like, I guess, Dad. But for the most part, like, he's a pretty pleasant fellow whenever you hang out, when you used to hang out and play.
So I still have my oath blade, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh. Neat.
All right. So does the party want to do anything or just wait?
Just, nothing in particular.
All right.
Gonna help get through now.
Well, she's getting kidnapped.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait, can I cast guidance on her as she leaves?
Nope.
Dang it.
I would have let you, but not now.
Dang it, I forgot.
Much better.
So a minute goes by, a nerve-wracking minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5, 10, 15, and then the door is going to open. Servants are going to bring in breakfast for everybody. And another 5 minutes are going to pass before the door finally opens again. The guard steps into the room, and he's going to open his mouth to speak, and you hear Asu Andrea's voice, and he's going to, or rather she's going to say, it's my grandmother they're meeting with.
What?
Strange.
Oh,
You
Marlena.
have her grandmother?
She nods
Not
and
the
says,
scary one.
I swear to God, my heart skipped a beat.
Right,
I'm like,
I was like, oh my!
not, no, the one we talk about. Okay, that one.
The one we're okay talking about, not the one that's Corwin.
she's going to go on and say, well, if he had contact with my grandmother, then he'd know intimate stuff about me. That doesn't explain why he wanted to kill me, though.
Well, for what we know, it was his father. We don't know anything else.
Marlena knew about Alis.
And she's going to say, I can't transform back. I don't have a lot of magic, and I need the rest of it for today, so I'm going to keep this appearance. Can you tell them I had to go, and I'll just stand back here and you handle questions for me?
Sure.
I think we can do that.
Alright. She is going to nod, and a few moments later, the door is going to open, and Lord Niatin is going to walk in. He's going to look. He's going to look towards the guard standing in the room, who's Asu Andrea disguised, and say, Valek, well, if you're inside, you're off your duty. Take a seat. She looks around and says, yes. And she's going to sit down. He steps in. He's dressed in a black suit and similar black robes as the steward was. He's going to speak up and say, Daphne, thank you for coming to see me. It's my father kind of
I heard. I'm so sorry. I didn't hear until this morning. I figured I should come and bid you condolences. I come with a gift.
He steps to hug you, but then goes for a handshake, and then he's gonna pull his hand back. He's like, a gift? Yes. Okay.
Okay, I don't know how to do this out of character because I still am a little rusty on lore. I'm gonna get the oath blade.
Oh no.
Are you proposing to him?
I guess.
Are you sure you want to propose?
All right,
Did he
you're
give it
gonna.
to you in the first place, or
No, it's her oath blade. He's going to
And
say.
now that I know a little bit of the context, I think I am.
He's gonna say.
you technically just proposed?
Technically.
Yeah, he's gonna say it was my father's dream. Our houses be sworn together. He's gonna accept it and say, "Are you sure?"
On your father's name, I will do this. You must prove yourself to be an actual man this time. But
he's gonna look around at the other people in the room. It's like, okay.
I look just really surprised. Of all the things, this is not what I expected when I woke up today.
Me neither.
He's
To get married today.
he's going to look around the room and say, I saw you were all sitting with Lord Esterai at the party.
I will speak up. Yes, we were. Your father, before he passed, actually had words with mine, but apparently they were close friends. Though we haven't personally met, I'd like to introduce myself as Anderson Rayleigh, and my condolences for what happened that night.
He's going to nod and say, I don't know what my father was planning. I'm so sorry about everything that evening.
Not your fault.
It just came as such a shock. He wasn't even acting like himself. From what I heard.
To stab the princess? Who would conceive such a thing?
There's a reason why that seems strange. Introduce myself. I'll stand up and hand out for a handshake. I'm Kenneth Alborea of the Alborea family.
He's going to shake it. Yeah, he's going to shake it and say, I am just going to try and keep our family together, and the alliance will come second, but I'll do what I can for it.
Rumors will spread, though, from everyone that's there. And my mother wanted to get some information. So I was sent here, happened to meet up with the rest. You wouldn't... Should I roll deception?
Yeah, I was thinking about your mom would want information, but you weren't sent here by her, so go ahead and give me that deception.
All right. Oh god, I can't read. There it is.
Okay. He is going to nod and say, yes, Lady Albarera, she's on the Currency Council?
Yes.
He nods.
Before the rumors get out of hand, you know how things are. Equal information, power. And she was hoping I could find out if you knew anything of the origin of these demons. Or if, since you've taken or had the lordship thrust upon you, if you've had time to investigate.
It's been like a day.
It hasn't even been a day. It's been like an afternoon.
Right?
Yeah. He's going to say, I have not. The rumors have been circulating, but the lieutenant arrived at our house yesterday morning before we went into, before we left for Ardor. If you want, you can speak with her. My father and her had a private conversation. But he didn't tell me he was going to do anything like this. She was one of the few people to know the princess before the magnate cut her off from the world. She would have more information than I do.
Interesting.
I'm sorry to have bothered you on this strenuous day you've been having. Probably really rough on you.
As you say that, some things are going to fall, a book and stuff in the corner, making a thud, bringing the attention to the guard sitting in the corner. That is, also Andrea. He's going to raise his hands and pick up the book and kind of gesturing, I'm sorry. At which point, Lord Niaton's going to turn his focus back to you guys. However, the guard begins mouthing something towards the party.
What would I roll?
You can tell me your passive perception, or I'll roll a performance check. And you can tell me a passive perception, or I can tell...
Can we do an active perception?
Yeah, you can roll an active perception if you want to.
My passive is 14.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna pick this up. Ask what they met about. Ask what they met about. Is like what she's like mouthing exasperatedly or dramatically.
You wouldn't have had. Oh, sorry. You were just meeting with her. What did you two talk about? We heard from your steward.
He's going to brush his forehead and say, "Oh, it's really difficult stuff. Your mother..."
A few things thrust upon you that you probably had no idea how to handle.
He nods and says, "Your mother would likely be meeting with her soon too. She's gathering support to call a meeting of the leagues." She
was one of the only ones that talked to him ahead of time, and she knew the princess before. That seems oddly connected. If I must be honest, dear.
He's going to say, "If you're accusing me of anything, Lord Estrai is poring over all of our logs, all of our steward's logs right now."
No, not you. I mean that your father and her grandmother, you said. If they knew each other ahead of time, that's... an odd... That's an odd implication. Not for you. No.
He's going to nod and... Wait, did you say husband?
Apparently!
You said dear.
Ah!
That time I said husband!
You are laying it on thick.
And he's gonna be like, I'll go get her. Excuse me. He steps out. He steps out of the room, closing the door.
Luna's gonna put her hand on Daphne's shoulder, like, teach me how to do that.
But,
for the better. I doubt it'll last long. It's fine.
You hear him shouting, you know, Marlena, Lieutenant, and a hurry of footsteps outside.
He is...
A few. Oh, go ahead.
He called her by her first name. So I guess
They're friends. Or she's just casual.
I should have killed her when I had the chance.
the ghost of Father A watching us.
The ghost of Father A. God.
They are Marlena and Kira step back into the room. She has a scowl on her face. She's an older woman. She's dressed in a officer's uniform, and has a large sword on her back. Her braid, or her hair, done into an intricate braid at the side. She is going to look over the room and say, me and my sergeant were just leaving, and stepping in behind her is going to be a final person.
Woo!
And she's going to say, Lord Niatin...
So not a werewolf.
Lord Niatin, please, next time address us with some sort of decorum, at least by our stations. He nods and says, yes, they just had a couple questions that perhaps you can answer and could provide light to this. She's going to look towards the party and say, as I've already told Lord Estrai and Lord Niatin, I had nothing to do with Glacius's far-flung attack.
Well, I'm convinced. Pack it up, boys.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that ends that mystery. Time to go.
Listen, I don't mean to any offense, and I don't mean to insinuate anything poorly. I feel as though there's something more to this, because from what I've heard of the attack, I personally was not there. He knew more than the average person would, and knew that there was something off. Why did he attack her, and how did she know anything? Maybe I'm wrong.
She exhales and says, I'm gathering support among the counselors. That said, we did have an extensive conversation where he wanted to know about the current magnate and her family. As you see, I'm calling for all of the leagues to convene. I think Ariana, our magnate, the celestial magnate Bertolf, has done an excellent job leading our nation for the past 16 years, but I think it's time we depend on tradition again. We call the leagues and we select a new leader. That said, he wanted to know who to throw his support to. I was forthcoming with details about the magnate, and perhaps he might have gleaned something about the daughter, or about the princess. But I assure you I did not put in his head the idea to attack or kill my granddaughter.
Inside?
Your grand.
Yeah.
Go
I'd
for
like to
it.
insight as well.
Can I insight that?
Go for it.
I'm
That's-
terrible. Well, actually, I'm not terrible. Ooh.
Better than me.
I mean, like, she seems pretty earnest, from what you guys can tell about her. What you know about Nazram, people who join this organization are very elite, and disciplined, people, dedicated oftentimes to, the greatest aspects of civilization. That said, the moral character of a Nazram member is often a foundation you can stand on. So, don't feel like she's lying to you.
But I feel like she is.
Mood.
She's going to say, where are my manners? Allow me to introduce my sergeant, Weston Rendell. He was going to take over my command.
Wait, Weston v. Weston?
Hey, Weston, my boy. He's moving.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't kill him when I had the chance.
What? I'm lost.
Weston's from the last campaign, but he was a child.
Yeah, you don't need to know anything about him now, except he is a,
He's a handsome
Attractive man.
32-year-old man.
yeah.
I'm very
That
proud that I made him.
Meryl was insistent on trying to help him and his sister trying to control or cure their lycanthropy.
Let's not talk about his sister. She's a demon wolf now.
He tried. Doesn't mean he succeeded.
Marlena is going to gesture, and he's going to say, yes. Marlena found me in the Tide Gate and recruited me into Nazram. I wanted to take up her command, but she said that I was capable of greater. She's rallying support for the League to be called. And Marlena's going to say, I don't campaign against our magnate, my daughter, with any brevity or lightness. I take this with all the seriousness in the world. As such, if I want her out of office, I'll do it through the means and traditions of our nation. Not through frivolous and meaningless attacks at a party for a child.
Right, because, frivolous attacks are how we became consort, so why...
Don't worry about it.
We apologize for taking up so much of your time.
She nods and says, and if the, she's gonna nod and then turn to Lord Knighton and say, and if the leagues are called, the counselor is sworn to you, I'll do my best to get them to the meeting. She's going to smile and bow and say, that's all I'd ask, my lord. Lords, ladies, Weston does the same, nodding politely. They turn to leave, their hands behind their back.
Fingers crossed.
And he's going to... Lord Niaton's going to brush the sweat from his brow and say, I have to keep complying with the magnate's investigation and go talk to Lord Esterai.
Of course. We don't mean to keep you away from this.
He's going to hold up the sword and say, perhaps I'll come visit your family in Kalu when my hunt's complete. He raises the sword to Daphne in kind of like a questioning manner.
That'd be wonderful. I wish you the best of luck with all the meetings. I know they're not your favorite.
He's going to nod. He extends his hand for yours, and then he's going to take it back and he's going to move to like hug you.
I will take a hug.
Awkward song and dance again.
Does he go in for the kiss?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, and he's going to turn bright red and then turn and walk out of the room and say, Valek, if you could see them to the door, Asuandria, who's disguised as Valek, is going to stand up and say, yes, yes, right away. This is going to be difficult. All right. He leaves to go back upstairs. Asuandria is going to start leading you guys through the hallway. Once he's climbing the stairs, she's going to drop the illusion and put her hand. Well, she'll burn
Taking a little longer.
Well, the guard's outside the door. She'll burn another disguised self. And she will.
Once we're on the road, you won't need that for a while.
She's going to nod. All right. She steps out of the manor along with the rest of the party. Alexander left the party that was sitting and attuning to the necklaces, but he came back a few moments later. Anthony, your character was not able to find what they're looking for.
Much with that roll.
All right. The party is back together. Asuandria is going to say to them, well, it seems my grandmother fed Lord Glacius some information that he might have taken too far. That said, the new heir of the Niatin family is really nice. I don't think I have anything to worry about. This will probably all blow over, hopefully, if my mother doesn't get removed from her seat.
On the other hand, my Lady Daphne, I'm sure one of us would be willing to steal back that Oathblade.
It's not so bad. I've known him since childhood. He's not a horrible man. He's just kind of spineless. That makes things a little more easy for me, though.
What Oathblade? I'm pretty sure you can say what Oathblade. There was no guard to officiate. If you want to go that route, you seem like the kind.
Yeah, that... Wait, can we all hear this, by the way, or no?
Yeah, the whole party's together. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You guys, yeah.
In that case, congratulations on your engagement, my lady.
Thank you. It wasn't really expected. Sometimes that's what you have to do, and that was kind of fun anyway.
Okay, then.
I think we're on our way to a farm.
That being stated, how are we going to get there?
We could steal I say sarcastically.
You really trust me driving again?
Not really, no.
I swear I'm usually better with animals.
Sure you are.
How much money do you guys have? Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll have Asuandria bring this up. She'll say, how much money is left? Oh, wait. I've got 15 gold.
It depends on how we split up on how much gold we got. If we got 45 times 5.
She's
25.
She's going to point at the members of the party who sold the stuff, and she's going to say, those were my gifts, so that gold is mine, and I say first everybody gets paid their 30 that I promised you. You delivered me to Somar Villa, and I am eternally grateful.
Alright.
I like this princess.
Grumbly starts handing out 30 gold to everybody.
Alright, I don't even know if 220 splits into 37 times. Oh, 7! Okay, cool, so...
It does it exactly.
Oh, it's only 6. Second of all, 7 would still be fine.
Okay.
The 7th member of this party is Daphne, who is apparently also hiring us to be the bodyguards.
Oh, yeah,
You have to pay me if you don't want.
Alright. So, everybody gets 30 gold. And then what's left of that, let's see, 220 times...
45 gold.
Okay, 45 gold is left.
Does that include me, or no?
No.
No,
You know what?
We're richer than all of us.
She's out of her remaining gold. She's going to give you 30 for buying the objects too. which leaves her with 30 gold exactly also. Out of that, she's now going to look into her coin bag that has 30 gold coins in, and says, this is enough for a horse or beast of burden?
There was an
yeah.
individual selling oxen before, but that's going to be a long trip if we're going to be using them.
All I really know is west of here, right?
I mean, I guess we
Yes.
could hoof it. Is another option.
That's
We
true.
could ask Corwin to scry on him.
She's gonna snap and say, "That's a good idea."
Shouldn't we actually be getting out of the city as soon as possible?
We
That
should
is-
maybe
that
maybe
is
like we
very
hoof it
true.
and like we.
Um,
I don't know how fast can we go on foot.
I think it might be safer for us to have a carriage. Did I have anything with me for traveling accommodations, or did my abandoned ship man take them?
Yeah, I mean, you just had your traveling bag, and you guys were walking roads and hopping on caravans.
All right.
no, that wouldn't be a good idea.
Also, Andrea is going to say, "I'm not opposed to asking Corwin. She's so nice."
That's
Yeah,
fair.
you didn't give me the heebie-jeebies or anything.
Yeah, but time's still up there. We need to decide quick.
It is. I'm fine with whatever as long as we get out of here quickly and. Oh well.
And I'm walking. That
We're
if she's saying
asking
it,
Corwin for help.
I think the faster we can move is the better.
Right.
I feel like renting is fine. Just hire some taxi. Well, do we know where this farm is?
we know it's
No,
west.
that's why we're talking to Corwin.
Okay, so the one idea was oxen from the farmer, and the other was Corwin. You guys going with Corwin?
Going with Corwin.
All right. Heading back to the Woolgreaf Tavern, and asking the tavern keep about her. He'll tell you she rented a smaller room upstairs. Knocking on her door, she's going to open up the door. She's dressed only in a sleeping robe, and she's going to say, "What time is it? Oh, it's all of you."
Hi, Corwin.
She nods and says, I can't say it's never a delight to see you. What brings you back to my door? Did you find Oro?
No, we kind of wanted to double check if you remembered where he was more exact. Because we need to get out of the city, but west is a very broad term.
She's going to think, and roll a history check. Doing much better with a 24. She's going to say, it's coming back to me a little bit more. I'm sorry, my memory is just, it comes as I see things. She looks over the party and says, I think it's Firatar Village, but he's not easy to find. His whole family, they have those. She points at the necklace that let's see. There are, what, 4 of you guys wearing them? Yep. The last person to put it on was Stradora? Yeah. So she'll point at Stradora's necklace and say, they're all wearing those.
Huh.
So we can scry on them.
Maybe not all of them.
Still going by the same name?
She's gonna think, and it's like, yeah, his wife took his last name.
What's his wife's name, if you remember?
she's going to stop for a minute and think. Not sure. Roll another history check. 19. All right. She's gonna say, I see her face. Danaganya. And she's gonna say, she was involved in what happened to me.
Complicated.
She clenches her fist.
Rora's gonna kind of like pat her on like the shoulder.
Good job.
And she's going to say, "Oh, if you find them, make them take off those necklaces. I promise I'll rain fury upon them. Just
Maybe
as soon as I
fury isn't
catch
what we
some
wanna-
sleep."
We'll see what we can do.
Ooh.
You just rest up, feel better.
Yes. You should get some. I appreciate
You've
everything.
been through a lot.
She's gonna nod and say, I bought some things when I came into town. I meant to give them to you before. It just kind of slipped my mind. She's gonna close the door. She comes back. She's got 3 spell scrolls, and she's gonna say, "Here, you'll need these." And also Andrea's going to take them and look over them. So, these are far too advanced for me. She says, "You'll learn." And she's going to nod and say, "All right, little princesses, leave me alone. Mama Bird's got to get some sleep."
Have a good night.
Sleep well.
Please do visit if you need anything else. I promise always the truth. At least what I remember of it. She shrugs.
Thank you.
It is so fucking A-list.
Oh.
Wait. Do you mean that literally, or she is A-list?
Oh,
Maybe.
I see. Okay, wait. I see where that sentence. No.
I need to clarify this.
No, that she is A-list.
Okay, got it. That's fine then.
Oh boy.
Andrea's. Did Stradora ever give Andrea her satchel back?
I would have probably stored the gold in it, so
Okay.
yeah.
She's gonna put the spell scrolls in her satchel. Alright.
I guess as a last thing, somewhat hesitantly, Stradora will kind of like show Corwin the single brass knuckle she keeps in her gold pouch. Since I'm wearing this, you can't scry on me. I don't know, as a backup plan.
She's going to look down at it before closing her door and say, "Alright, I've got my ways. I'm pretty good at finding people."
That's creepy.
Ominous.
That's not ominous.
I mean, my dad does it all the time, so I'm kind of
Anyways,
used to meeting
okay.
people like that.
Thanks, Corwin.
She's gonna nod, close the door. The party is aware of fear tier, or rather, some people who are accustomed to this region are. If you look on that map, let's see. Feartar Village is like right west of Somar Villa. And I will display it in a second. Yeah, there you go. Somebody just pinged it. I don't even know why I was doing that. There it is. It's right there. Okay. So what's the party want to do?
That's
a
not
moment
so
to feel
far,
an
is it?
existential amount of dread.
It is not. It is
And then-
a few hours west.
We could walk that.
We can try.
I admit I'm surprised to hear that from you.
I know.
Oh, look, I'm not proud of it either.
Well, we
Kid.
can walk, or we can look into getting a caravan. Care either way.
Well, it's
I
a
might
couple
have-
hours away, and I think you guys are strong enough. You look to be the stronger type of noble. Not the
I
ones who
might
sit
have-
on their butt all day and do nothing.
One
I mean, I'm not a
connection.
noble, but thank you.
I might have one connection here that we might be able to use to get a carriage and some horses, potentially.
Is it someone that wouldn't be mad if we just dumped them if need be?
I think I know where this is going.
It's
Going
not a
to the
person.
Calkin. We're going to the Calkin.
It's a place.
Okay.
Remind me what the Calvin is?
The place where Meat worked at, and also the basically magical police.
Got it.
Yeah, so the Kalkin are an organization of arcane justicars. They hunt down people who misuse arcane magic, and they stop magical catastrophes from happening. Specifically, they are monster and magic anomaly hunters.
Like me. They hunt me.
Alexandria.
Yes, and Alexander's mom and father are both high-ranking members.
Fire Spawn wouldn't fall on that list, right?
No, they would not.
Cool.
No, you're
No,
down.
but I fall into that list.
Yeah, but they know about your people by now, and they know that you're fine. You forget.
So I will be completely frank with you guys. We are getting a little bit close to our end time, and I did have more planned for tonight. And I did not plan for this. Do you mind? They would be very receptive of Alexander. Do you mind if I fast forward and tell you what resources you get from them, and then you guys on the road?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Okay. Let's see. They are going to be willing to part. The nation's not at war. They're going to have plenty of resources. They're going to part with 2d4 of horses. You guys are able to get 3 horses. You would have to buy a 4th, and then everybody could ride, 2 people on a horse. Let's see. And through the saddlebags, they give you guys 5 days worth of feed for each of the horses. Presuming that you are going to bring back the 3 horses.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
What's the horse cost?
It's not that bad.
Horses cost 75 gold apiece.
I got it.
They don't charge you for these. They're, you're
Yeah, but
renting.
we need a 4th horse.
Yeah.
I can pay for
Alright.
I was gonna say for shites and giggles, if Claw finds a horse.
Thoughtful.
Yeah, there aren't a lot of wild horses roaming the cliff sides of
Fair enough.
I'll pay for it.
western Erothia.
Is there
No,
a
I got
prettier one than the other one?
Oh, they will definitely sell you a horse. Is there a prettier horse than the other horse? Let's see. They would have a war horse for sale, but that's 400 gold.
Yeah, that's not it, Chief.
Yeah, I'm looking for my D100. There we go.
I mean, is there a color that looks prettier? Like, is there a white horse among gray horses?
Yes, they would. There would be a white horse with a single gray speck on it.
Perfect.
Ooh, do they have a pale brown horse?
Do they have a pale brown horse? I'll say
It looked
above
nice with my golden scales.
above 65. They do. They do
We
not.
undercut all of our fast forwarding time.
We did.
Yeah.
Dang, okay.
All right. So
Take a horse and go.
yeah, the party has 3 horses, and then Daphne bought a horse. And yeah, so the party has 3 horses. Daphne bought a horse. Riding 2v2 is awesome.
How much was it?
It was 75 gold.
Oh, I can't cover all of that. Okay,
I can
can we
cover
split
it.
it?
I can cover it. I can cover it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We can
Alexander's
split
mom
these.
gave him 50 gold. Okay, so she gave him 50 gold last session. It was one of the things I skimmed over. All right.
The only other thing I would do while I was there is I would ask them to just send a message to me telling her that we made it, and, that we're just heading out on a small job.
Okay. All right. You guys are going to ride west. Let me actually pull up the world map. Oh, I have you on the world map. Cool. And see how far it is, because it wouldn't be terribly far. It'd be like... No, it's not 62 miles. Okay, yeah, it'd be like... It'd be less than 2 hours on horses. So yeah, I'm gonna say it'd be about an hour's ride. And at which point, who is riding on the horse with Oswandria? Or do you guys give her own?
Me.
Okay. She'll
I thought you
probably...
were over that.
Yeah, she'll probably yell out to Daphne and say, as you guys are riding, and say, Lady Sarchelia, you're gonna see something a little bit weird. I was afflicted with an issue of blood as a kid. When my magic runs out, it's well, you'll see. I just don't want you to be worried. I'm okay.
Alright.
She yells. About a half hour into riding, Princess Oswandria's face is not going to shift whatsoever, but slowly her pupils fade away, and replacing her eyes are just 2 black abysses. They looking into her eyes, you see just midnight. Otherwise, yeah. After riding for an hour, you guys are going to come across a trail that leads across the cliff sides. And you're going to... Did I not? You're going to find a small collection of houses and buildings through this trail. Let's see. Riding into town, it's just going to be it's a real small affair here. Let's see, what type of background music do I have? I want to get some ambience going. We'll go with this. Okay. So, anyways, well, that's not playing. Thanks. You are going to ride into town. It is just a small collection of buildings around a road and a small marketplace. In the marketplace, there's a couple stables that are, for the most part, empty. There's a horse tied up outside of it, and a man tending to these stables, bringing hay inside. Asuandria is going to look around and say, with my mother, my dad would have been the equivalent of a king, and he would choose to live someplace like this?
I don't know if he did it by choice.
Or maybe he did. Maybe the pressure of being a king was too much for him.
Maybe that wasn't really the life he chose for him.
And he's
Can't
already
blame him.
got a new wife, a new family.
She is going to nod and say, Okay, well, I've got, and she, as you guys are trotting through town, she's going to cast the magic on herself and say, I've got one more spell for today before we need to rest. Anyways, let's split up and see if we can find them. Shouldn't be too hard. Town's not very large.
I'm guessing we're splitting up based off of who's been riding with who.
I guess I don't really want to
Tie
split up
the
though.
horses.
You should voice that if... Oh, do you say that out loud?
Yeah, I
Okay.
am voicing that. It's like
Well, no, I mean,
I don't feel we should split up. I feel like, you know, we're in unknown. We're in a place that we don't know, and you know, it's like, you know, we're better together.
I agree.
Some individuals are. I'm actually somewhat decent at tracking people down when I'm not with a lot of people. Just how I was trained. So, but,
Also, Andrea's going to say, you guys remind me of my mom. Just so afraid to be apart. Okay.
Oh yeah, I definitely do not want to end this.
Down, girl.
nay.
She's going to say, perhaps there's a tavern or inn or something. I've read about stories of tales like this. Maybe that's where we should start.
I mean, it might be a good idea to find somewhere to hold, you know, tie up the horse.
Yeah, let's find a place with some stable.
Surprisingly, there's stables in the market square.
Luck.
Alright, as you head to the stables, the man tending them is going to look up at you and say, these aren't stables for any random travelers. They belong to the Ossuans.
What do you know? That's who we're looking for.
He's gonna scratch his head and say, well, she headed into the city. So she should be back soon. Doesn't normally take them long to sell their the livestock they buy and trade.
Oh God.
It's her.
It was Maria.
It was Maria. Out of character.
No, Maria was the child.
Even worse.
You kids.
The both of them? We're specifically looking for, I guess, Sir Oswin.
Oh, you're talking about Master Oro.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, he lives over on the southwest part of town. His house, him and his family, they come into town to tie up their livestock. You know, the wolves get real bad over there, so.
He around?
He's going to nod. Or he's gonna nod and say, you know what, if you're friends with Oro, maybe for a couple gold pieces I can tend to your horses. Probably wouldn't mind. Herded a whole, or rather, led a whole herd of oxen to town.
Oh no. We saw those oxen.
Did they happen to be carrying around a dream catcher?
He's
They wouldn't be back since
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, you know, I can
You
give
said-
you a couple gold.
well, Maria should be back anytime soon, so I don't have to worry much about that. But he's going to nod, gesturing for the gold, and he'll start taking your horses by the reins, leading them into the stable.
You said the southwest?
He's going to nod. Other things that are important, there is a carriage also parked in front of this stable.
What's in the carriage?
It looks empty. like as far as people, like what's inside of it. It's a
The bodies of the victims.
it's a riding carriage, not a carting carriage. Or I'm sorry, it's a carriage, not a covered wagon. You guys rode in a covered wagon, basically.
Who does the carriage belong to?
He's going to say, that's also Master Oro's. Says keep it ready for him in case he ever has to go somewhere. I normally only use it about once a month or so. I can rent it out to you, maybe if you can pay a little bit sizable more sum than him.
It's fine. I'm just curious, is all. Thanks for the offer, though.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a finger to it.
At which point, there is another rider coming into town, by the way.
Oh no.
You guys head to the southwest part of town?
Yep.
Yes.
Lumilia,
Yes.
give me a wisdom check.
I am
Save or
afraid.
check?
Check. I'll allow you to use perception or a save if you want. It is up to
I'm
you.
in danger.
So I can do a wisdom save?
You can do a wisdom save or a perception check, but give me a
I like
wisdom-based roll.
Windows wisdom saves.
All right.
There we go.
Almost our 6th net.
Woo! That's great. Okay. So,
I'm scared.
riding into town, like, you just look back at the rider that's coming to the stables you were just at, just dropping off her horse, and you swear you see your mother. And then you just
Wait.
kind of like, you like rub your eyes.
Oh!
You just like,
know who it is!
you just like rub your eyes and you're just like, wait a second. And it just looks like a much younger version of your mother.
My mother?
Your mother. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know who it is. Holy
Alright.
I don't.
I don't either.
Oh, we're gonna need silver weapon.
I don't know anything about.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are. Don't worry, I have the holy fury of Renolta.
You're
Alright.
going to need a lot more.
Got these hands.
Heading to the southwest. You guys are going to find the lone farmhouse all by itself. And
All by
several.
ourselves.
Yeah, you see a barn and several different small groups of livestock, pigs, goats, all out in a fenced-off area, separated, of course. There is a man, and let's see, what's he doing? I'm gonna say, well, I was gonna say above 80. He's probably chopping wood. Below, he's
I
probably wrangling.
swear, if
these.
this is
Are
my
we having a
father-
Captain America part?
Mhm.
Is it actually? I didn't expect to find Oro so quickly.
Same.
Yeah, you're actually going to see him, and he's there chopping wood.
I don't see his image.
Oh,
Yeah, no, there's no image, just a name.
let's see. Any better?
No.
Close it. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Well, the name will probably load in a second.
Well, I mean, the name is there. It's just there's no picture.
Yeah. You guys will probably be able to see it later. So, it's there. So,
I mean, we know what Oro
Yeah.
looks like.
Anyways,
I don't.
you guys are going to see a red-headed man, and stepping up to this place. He's going to put down his axe, looking at the party, specifically Aswandria, who is walking forward timidly.
Hail. You,
Howdy there, neighbor.
you Oro Osawin?
He's going to posture back, and at this point it's worth noting he's got a short sword at his waist, places his
Oh, I
hand
feel
on
like I
it.
come off kind of intimidating despite being 14.
And yeah, he's
You're
going
in
to
full
say,
body armor.
"Who's asking?"
Well, I'm... Well, I guess it doesn't matter who I am. Kind of like takes a step to the side and gestures towards Alessandria. This is your daughter?
We think.
She's going to say, "You're my," and before she can get the word off, you're going to hear, "Dad!" As Maria
Oh,
comes walking up. She walks by the party and
Surprise sibling.
yeah, going to look over everyone. Asuandria is kind of just standing there, almost petrified and afraid. Oro's going to turn towards her and say, "Go get your mother." She's going to look and say, "What's going on?" He's gonna look to the party and say, "Not sure." She nods. Says, "I don't know who you are." He looks at Asuandria before she's, Are you not Oro Asuan?" He says, "No, I dreamt about your face, but I've never met you before."
can I cast Detect Magic on him?
Go ahead.
Because I'm concerned.
As you start casting a spell, his short sword comes out quick, and it's at your throat, and it says, "Whoa!"
Whoa, buddy!
And
Calm
We
down.
are not here to hurt you.
He's casting a blessing for all of us.
Actually, I might.
roll me a deception check.
Okay.
Daphne!
My God. Wait a minute. If you're Oro Alsuin. Wait.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me.
Shut up.
Let
ahead.
me speak.
Go ahead.
Oro. Wait. Before you. I think you would know my father well. Marrow. Do you.
He's going to think and say, "Mayro."
Estrai.
No. Never heard the name.
Shenanigans.
I'm.
He's
You are not the former husband of the celestial magnate. You're saying
Okay, we're just gonna drop that.
I am just gonna drop this. I am
he is going
tired of
to
these
start
shenanigans.
laughing and say, "Clearly, you are mistaken." Before finally a woman appears on the porch and says, "Oro, darling, go prepare the carriage, please." He
Mother.
looks back, and he's going to sheath his sword, looking around the party and say, "Visit again sometime." And he's going to put his hand on Asuandria's shoulder and say, "I'm sorry I'm not who you're looking for, but I hope you find them." The woman is going to gesture for the party to come forward.
She's not
As we
my
get
mother,
close enough,
He's 100% charmed.
like,
I mean-
within, like, whatever. As we get closer, I'm divine sensing.
Divine sensing? You
I feel
are not
it's
going to
more
ping
memory,
anything.
Oh, that's actually relieving in a way.
Alright.
I feel like it's
Not
probably
just because
memory
she's
more
not a
than
demon,
control.
but also does that stupid necklace protect against that?
Yeah, you can roll an
yes, it
Arcana
does.
check.
Yes, it does.
Alright.
So useless.
As you approach, she's going to say, "Princess, I can't say I was expecting you. Please,
No one ever does.
come in. I was talking.
I'm going to.
She's going to say, I was talking to young Miss Bertolf.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Why does she know what also Andrea Berthold looks like?
Well, didn't we just say who she was?
But the wife wasn't here.
Right.
She was inside.
She
We
just
weren't
got
quiet.
here.
I mean, I don't think we were screaming
I'm
either.
sniffing the air right now.
I am so suspicious.
Smells
Why does
like
their daughter look like
ginger.
my mom?
I'm going.
Why does their daughter look like my mom? Okay, yeah, it smells like ginger. She's gonna say, I just put on a pot of tea. I'm sure we can talk this out.
I don't know if there's much to talk about.
Guys, I think we should just leave.
I think so too.
I
Yeah.
agree.
We
I'm
were
afraid we were
apparently
mistaken.
right.
I apologize.
She's well, let's see. She's going to as you guys like turn around and you start walking away, she's going to say, wait, before you go, how did you find me? I've erased all traces of me in anyone's mind.
What do you
Wait,
mean?
what?
How did you get
Store's
here?
gonna be like, oh, that's not even subtle. That's just
You're not even trying
Corwin
anymore,
told
are
us.
you?
Don't.
Don't!
Ah,
Oh!
Oh my
I don't
god!
know allegiance to that woman.
Ah!
She
No.
saved us twice!
Mhm.
And it's our contact if we...
See, I thought I was the loudmouth, but I'm not.
I'm gonna just be like, to clarify, we weren't even looking for you. We were looking for him.
She's going to say, the rest of you can leave. But, young Miss Bertolf, I think we should talk about
I
that
don't
curse
think we
effect
should.
Do
on
not
you.
get to set
Grabbing
a
the
hand
princess.
on her.
She's going to... also, Andrea's going to say, what? Why is my dad with you? She gestures inside and says, of course, we can talk this all out again.
I don't.
And-
I don't trust any of this. This is like...
Oh,
I don't trust this. We should go now.
Princess, please listen to us. We can come back later.
Or we
I-
won't.
Or we...
She's going to start turning to walk away. And again, Danaganya is going to say, they told you it was a disease afflicting you, not a powerful magical curse. They told you were cured of it, but that was just a lie that they told the entire country.
What? I
have found
don't
the source of the
understand.
We should go now.
She's going to turn. Also, Andrea's going to turn and say, "What do you know about my condition?" And she's going to say, "It wasn't a condition. It was a curse placed on you by a very evil woman."
How dare you slander the dead?
Says you.
Of all people.
Brian, she was an antagonist in the previous campaign who was messing with the magnate, and also Rob's character had a brief fling with her.
It was not brief.
She's dead now.
She was the antagonist of
She's
like
Corwin
season 2.
Linsong, boys. Like, come on.
Anyways,
Anyways,
Not important.
Wait. Corwin was...
no, I'm
wait, no, this is him theory crafting here. She wasn't actually dead. Now, let me. Sorry, let me try and clear this up. But, you, Asu, we should go now.
Danaganya stands on the porch still and says, "You know, I worked for Reyna before I left her service." After she betrayed the rest of the knights. I'm sure she didn't tell you that. What she had me do to them?
What?
The rest of the knights. Which knights?
Oh, all of them.
Isn't
If
Cause
Corwin,
technically in there?
if Corwin knows me, we're all in danger. Please. Allow me just 10 minutes alone with the princess.
I
Not alone.
do no such thing.
All of us are none.
Who's to say you aren't dangerous?
How about 5 minutes with all of us?
She's going to nod and say, come on, let's get inside. My house is warded.
I honestly didn't think.
I almost trust her more than the other people.
And
And I know that's horrible.
Asuandra is going to look back at the party and say, come on, this is how we establish trust. We step out on a bridge of hope.
Take
It's also how we get betrayed.
Claw's walking in first, and just in case.
While we're walking, can I
Walking
cast
in
a
last.
shield of faith on the princess?
Go ahead.
With a
That's-
first level spell slot.
As you step inside, you can see Maria in the kitchen arranging several cups.
Brandon,
Yes.
before I step inside, I'm gonna place my short sword on the ground outside the house.
Okay. All right. Danaganya is going to speak up and say, I'll tell you, I'm quite surprised that Corwin has remembered who I am. You have to tell me how that happened.
If I knew how, I'd tell you.
From what Corwin has told us, her memory only recently started coming back.
I might have technically lied, but I don't actually know why.
So, Danaganya is going to say, well, let me first introduce myself. I'm a former diviner for head diviner, Rael Kytrius. And I worked briefly for Reyna Surreal Renalpaw. I was the mind mage of the castle. It was my job to often interrogate those who were brought to the dungeons. But Reyna started using my services for something far beyond their normal applications.
And what would that be, if I may ask?
She's going to look at Asuandria and say, tell me, what do you know of the world outside of the castle? And she's going to say, well, Lord wanted to kill me, but everyone else has been really nice. And she's going to nod and say, yes, and that's thanks to head diviner Surreal Renalpaw. You see, before, everyone wanted to kill you. The Kelkin had an order. On a standing agreement, if you couldn't be cured of the curse that afflicted you, they were going to kill you.
My father worked endlessly trying to cure her, and he succeeded.
Yes, he did. Maria's going to come in with with the cups of tea, and she's going to take one and say, and what was it that he succeeded at? He cultivated those herbs, administered them to her, cast that powerful spell, and the curse faded. The darkness rising from her body, or at least that's how he remembers it.
And then Alma told me that he also cast some rituals.
Oh yes, how did he cure her? He
It wasn't-
brought the darkness into a small doll, sealed it away. Yes, or at least that's how he remembers it.
Each one of them remembered a different way of them individually recalling how to cure it.
I was told to make them think that they were successful, and they reported back to the Kalkin that they were. And our young princess here got to live.
What is the curse?
She shrugs and says, I don't know. It's some ancient circle has been after her for some time. That's why your mother made you wear that all the time so that they can never find you. She points to the necklace. In any case, they're very difficult to deal with. You kill them and they pop up a few years later. Practically. Go ahead.
Dumont told stories of few things that were people that would hunt, but no names in particular remember that.
She's going to say, why is my dad here? What's Corwin have to do with this? She's going to say, one of them... This circle was hunted almost to extinction by Galesong, God of Storms, but one of them slipped through. One that he could never quite finish completely. In any case, your mother locked her away in the dungeons of Zenith Rise. But Oro knew that she would never stop in her quest to capture you or do whatever they need you for. That said, it was only time until her circle would send an assassin to stab her, and then she'd die and she'd reappear someplace else in the world. So Oro came to me while I still worked at the castle. He said he would give anything for your safety, and I came up with a solution. I erased everything in her mind. She had no idea who she was, what she wanted, scrambled every thought, every memory, and I placed her in a nowhere town in the middle of a nowhere village.
Oh no.
Or I'm just remembering. Oh no.
And
This is just a player thought, so this is not in character. What? Like, we still, like, can't take everything she says at face value.
Are we rolling? I'm gonna roll an insight check on these stories right now.
And I know it's not the priority right now, but I really want to know why their daughter looks like my mom.
I mean, it does sound plausible.
Do you ask that?
No, I do not.
You sure? It's a good question.
I have decent you know what? Sure, why not? Why does your daughter look like my mother?
She's going to look at Maria and say, Maria? No, Maria is not my daughter. She's another child that I saved. When...
Do you have a sister?
Maria's going to shake her head and say, No. When I was a kid, that woman, when I was a small baby, that woman kidnapped me. When the Magnate's Knights found Corwin, she was trying to rebuild her circle. Kidnapped a small, sick girl. She shrugs and says, I took her in myself.
Oh no.
And she's, Danaganya's going to brush her hand and say, when the time came and the deed was done, I told Oro I wanted him. He didn't agree to it, but he said he'd pay anything. So I took his mind, and we've lived happily ever after since. But if Corwin is out there, We're not safe here.
She just fought off Reyna last night.
She nods and says, well, I'm taking my family, and I'm leaving. But you, Princess, should at least know the great lie that was told to us all.
Before you go, is there any way you could let Oro remember his daughter for in 5 minutes for them to talk?
How heartless do you have to be to take a father away from his child?
She's gonna say, I saved that child. Looking at, or then pointing to Asu Andrea.
So stealing her dad makes it alright then.
I'd say that makes us about even.
It's not a matter of being even, it's about a matter of being moral. I could kill someone and save someone else, that doesn't make murder okay. You essentially brainwashed and kidnapped him away from the family that he loved.
This is not a...
She's
I don't...
Any better than Corwin.
She's going to nod and say, I never claimed to be. That said, you should go ask Reyna who ordered. You should go ask Reyna who ordered for everybody's minds to be wiped, changed, and altered.
You're the one who did it to Oro. Doesn't sound like you were under orders then.
No, that was payment and pleasure.
Yes, because trading in the lives of others is so acceptable.
I
Who made the
I
order?
doubt any moral argument is really not going to...
Who made the order?
I guess probably comes from the top.
She nods and says, when presented with the plan, the magnate agreed to it, changing the minds of her own knights.
Do it to my father too.
I believe his was he went on a great quest to the west to fetch waters and commune with spirits, and came back with a ritual. He believes it worked also.
Good to know.
How do their stories not clash when they converse?
She's going to shrug and say, they've all split. They seldom talk to one another anymore.
This doesn't explain... Sorry, more player thoughts. It doesn't really explain Alma and Marrow, who practically live next door to each other.
Well, your guys' stuff isn't necessarily exclusive to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention,
That's another thing, is it all kind of overlaps. So you could make... It could almost be like a boast thing. You know, like a firing squad. Yeah, it was totally me that did the shot, bruh. Nah, I totally felt the recoil. You know.
She's going to speak up and say, those necklaces you all wear, I suggest you get a couple more and you never take them off.
Yeah,
And
I really wouldn't want you to find me again.
give her even 5 minutes with her father.
make me a persuasion check.
That's not gonna be great. Alright. It's not terrible. The roll is, but the...
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Takes a lot to brainwash someone, sweetie.
She's
You could wipe it from his brain afterwards, but she deserves to at least have one conversation with her father.
She's going to sigh and say, but if I let him have memories of the girl, his feelings for that infernal woman who would just toss him aside, come back, and... I'm not convinced this is a good idea. Perhaps if you delivered me Corwin's head on a pike, we could negotiate.
Pretty sure she'd just come back to life.
She would,
You know-
but we would have a couple years of to resettle ourselves and establish a new life.
Why does she come back to life, if you don't mind me asking?
She's going to shrug and say, I don't know. The most Rael was or Diviner Rael was able to find was at some elven circle.
Do you know its name? Maybe we could do some research.
Where could it? Is there one place that has it, or is it created somewhere?
And she's going to say the circle was named the Daughters of Gendoi, but it's an offshoot of Gendenthel. Those type of circles pop up and fall and rise and fall all over the world. I'm sure you're aware of what happened in Red Axe a couple years ago.
Fantastic, a demon cult.
Yeah.
No, is there a new issue there?
No, same thing, just, you know.
Crimson Crusade was literally before my time.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
been
before.
taught in schooling.
History book.
It was taught in schools that demons are bad and events like Red Axe should never happen again.
I'm sure Alma definitely lectured me about that.
I'm sure, like, he dragged Mero along for some side quest of, like, listen, I've been wanting to do this ever since I heard of the event, and we're done with our things, time to go. Going on a quest.
Oh.
Lemilio's gonna look at the princess and be like, Princess Asuandria, what do you want to do?
I
I haven't really asked her opinion here.
Let's roll her a morality die.
I mean,
Because
he
if she
really
wants
just
her dad
seems like
back, I'll
shell-shocked.
Mhm.
I listen. Again, as a player, I don't think we can take her.
Well,
as
granted,
a
it's also
character,
because
I'm too
she's got
stupid
my
to
little
know this.
sister.
As a
Because
character,
that is
I'm too
absolutely
stupid to know this, so, you know, I'll fight too, but, you know.
She's going to Asumandra is going to speak up and say, I want to talk to him. He dreams about my face. And she's going to say, he does. Apparently I didn't do good enough of a job.
Wouldn't you if you were in her position, wouldn't you want to at least have a few moments to actually meet the man and who was your father that you have been searching for a long time? Wouldn't you want somebody to at least give a few moments of that time if you're going to just brainwash him anyways?
No.
Wouldn't you want to at least know the person that you were missing? When my father mentions that he actually could have, that my father kept bringing up on that he was trying to make up for what he was missing with his. I feel like she deserves to at least be able to have a few moments with it. I'm willing to roll a persuasion check as well, if that's...
I don't feel like applying to her morality is really going to do anything.
Go ahead and make that roll for me.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
E?
appropriate. Give me 1 second. I just need to see something.
At
Alright.
what point is she just going to try to brainwash us? Like, just like, get us out.
Yeah, and she's going to say, I can assure any extended interaction here with me is going to cause you all to wake up in a tavern tomorrow having a lovely dream and not remembering how you got there.
We should leave.
I think we should go. I don't think talking to her anymore is going to do us any good.
Yeah, Asuandria is going to nod and walk towards Maria to put her cup back on the tray. At which point, as she does, Asuandria is going to swipe towards Danaganya's neck.
Ooh.
And she's going to contest it with a
Please
acrobatics.
keep in mind she has a shield of faith.
She does. So Asuandria steps to put her cup down, and then swipes towards Danaganya's neck. As she does, Danaganya is going to jump away, and she's going to whip a hand forward and say, "You foolish girl!" At which point, Asuandria is going to hold up the necklace that was around her neck and say, "I want to talk to my dad, or I will break this, and so help me, Corwin will kill us all."
Oh dear.
I mean, I've reached for my axe at this point, and I just don't know what's going on.
Oro's going to step
I'm sorry for.
into the doorway.
If you guys
Six.
are Maria, I'll kill you though.
Can I cast Charm Person on the princess?
What?
Yes,
Sorry.
you can.
We cannot attack this chick. We
At
cannot win this.
this
I mean, I
point,
know we can, but like,
Oro steps into the doorway and says, "Danaganya, the carriage is ready." Seeing kind of
that's
this
shitty
standoff.
timing.
Go ahead and well, you cast Charm Person. All right, here we go. She makes a Wisdom save. Oh, I have all her rolls going to me. She is going to fail. Asuandria is delighted by Daphne, still pissed as hell at Danaganya.
Let's not. I apologize for all this, but we should go. She won't attack you like this because I don't will it. I apologize for that. But we should go. Thank you for the information.
Asuandria's fist is going to clench around the necklace before she throws it on the ground.
Oh no.
She turns to leave.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
If you pick it up, Danaganya's going for it too. If you're trying to stop her from getting it, roll me a dexterity check. A contested sleight of hand.
Can it be an athletics check where I bash her to the side with my shield?
Yeah, go for
Oh
it.
God!
I tried, guys. I tried.
Because that's way too violent an action. Oof.
All
Wouldn't
right,
have been much better with athletics.
here we go. Dexterity check for the. Why are these rolling to me? She rolled an 18. She's going to snatch it on the ground, put it on her neck, and say, "Get out!"
On her neck? Like, Danaganya puts it on her neck?
Yeah, she
Or
puts
back
it
on
around
us?
her neck.
well, because it's her charm, it's not.
Yeah, Asuandria
Oh.
grabbed.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Los Andreas.
Oh, I'm
okay
sorry.
with my actions.
yeah.
But, okay then.
At which point, the whole party would file by. Oro, is that everybody's agreement to step out and leave?
Yeah.
As I'm
I mean, I
walking out,
want
I'm
to
gonna
say
keep
mean
glancing at
things,
Maria.
but yeah, I probably should just leave.
I will be the last one out.
Yeah.
I'll nod and leave.
Before you all leave, Asuandria is going to hug Oro. She's crying, and he looks a little stunned at this, kind of putting a arm around
Yeah,
her.
there's a lot going on here.
Yeah. Then letting her walk by. As you guys get outside, Asuandria is just gonna say, "I'll kill her! I'll kill her! I'll kill her! I'll go back to the castle and bring a whole squad of knights here! I'll kill her!"
know if she's gonna be leaving this area anyway, but you have an idea of what she looks
She's remained hidden for this long. It was only through
like. Dumb luck.
our new problem.
No one was looking until now.
I think we need to go.
Right.
Alright. As you start leaving, you guys are gonna be called back by Maria.
I'm going to ignore her. Let's keep walking.
I'm not.
No, she's not calling
She's
you
calling
back,
out, I'm
but
stopping
she's
instantly and going back.
she's running outside and says, "I'm so sorry about everything. This is the first I've heard about this. I knew about Corwin kidnapping me, and I knew about my mother scrambling her mind, but everything else with Dad and the princess and the curse, I
have some news about that dream catcher that we sold to you earlier then. If you still have that.
She's going to nod and say, I was going to show it to my dad. He always struggles with his dreams.
That's actually an entertaining thing.
Very good, kid.
I'm going to state this. When I mentioned to you about it being an alarm clock and helping with good dreams, it wasn't just my father that helped build that. It was his sister.
She is,
You might want to clarify, you mean Oro's sister.
Oro's sister, yeah, sorry. Oro's sister. It was Oro's sister that helped build that.
She is going to nod and say, I don't know what's my memory and what's not.
Maria, you mentioned you know that you're adopted?
She nods and says, yeah, we would go up to visit Corwin once a month just to make sure the magic was holding.
Have you ever wondered who your parents were? Your birth parents?
She shrugs and says, when we wipe Corwin's mind, that information, or when my mom wiped Corwin's mind, that information's gone. She doesn't even know.
I see. And are you happy here?
Dad's a little hard on me with sword training, or and I'm gonna roll Osmandria will save.
He's passed.
I'm sorry, Osirandria. I have to make sure that Maria's okay, though.
As she says, Dad's a little hard on me on will save, or your Osmandria is going to jump her, hands around her neck.
Intercept this?
Yeah, I'm grabbing Osirandria.
And she's gonna say, at least you have him! You can, I'll roll her a contested grapple check.
I guess, like, I'm trying to stop this.
Yeah, she rolled.
Why don't I get the 20s?
Was she not charmed?
Yeah, she was
she's
charmed
by
not.
you to
Yeah.
be you.
She's
She's
still
charmed to be with you and be infatuated with you.
Yeah.
Not anybody else around her. She can still react to that stimuli.
You guys are going to hold her back, and she's gonna. And at that, Maria's going to say, "I'm sorry, but
You should go.
You might want to get going.
Where's this carriage?
Are you asking as a player or as a character?
as a player.
As a player, you guys saw it when you walked into the.
It hasn't moved.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Then I'm good. I don't need to ask.
All right.
I wasn't sure if it had moved because he said he had it ready, but
At which point, she's going to go back towards the house, and she'll look back and say, "I'm sorry." She opens the door. For a few moments, you guys can see, Donaganya and Oro packing inside.
Okay.
Is everybody comfortable ending here, or do you guys...
I had one last thing I wanted to do.
Go ahead. If everybody's cool with, 10 more minutes or so.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's like one
Okay.
action.
Go ahead. What's up?
I want to go to the carriage, and I want to say a brief apology to my father,
Mm-hmm.
and then throw the brass knuckles, try to hide the brass knuckles in it. Somewhere.
I was gonna tell you to get rid of it, but you've already done it. Oh well.
Alright. You see these knuckles right here? Just look for these. Okay, we will end there for the night. Oh, when you guys go back to the carriage, there are the horse that was in the stable. It's strapped to it, tied in the reins and everything, and you can see the carriage that was empty is now loaded with some stuff.
Rob,
What?
you metric just signed a death sentence on my sister.
No, it's fine. The lady who kidnapped her might just re-induct her into the death cult.
That's worse. She's the only reason I am who
Look,
I am.
I may be a paladin, and there may be some virtues I need to uphold, but it's not. I'm sorry. This lady is a piece of shit.
I know.
Corwin's
I don't
also a piece of
disagree.
shit. I'm sorry. Collateral damage has to happen.
I don't disagree.
Corwin seems reasonable. She might just murder Danaganya and then leave, everybody else alone.
Alright. So... Lunch to experience! Yay! Great session tonight.
I'm sorry, Willow.
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
Luna literally would not exist as she does now if it weren't Maria.
It's shitty, but God, I did not want to fight her.
Right?
I wanted to
How
get
strong she was.
In a
her
small
right in her own
area?
house.
Worst part is I did a similar thing and no one caught on to it.
The
I saw
sword.
that,
Oh, no.
and
I
I
saw
thought about
it.
doing the same thing, and I was like, nah.
Hey,
and then
you
it
put
was
your
like,
sword
better
outside the door.
opportunities.
Yeah,
She
it's
said
gonna
her
be
house
8...
was warded, not the outside of it.
Yeah, it's gonna be 8 hours until, Corwin has spell slots again.
Well,
Are we the villains? We just keep summoning Corwin to kill all the people we don't like.
Hey, every time it's Rob's
So-
fault.
also, I'd like to note that
Created all of these problems, so it's whatever.
now, on top of the fact that we have to remember that we can't fully take her at her word for it. She is a really good liar.
Also, the Mind Mage probably also erased Reyna's brain, so...
Yeah, I rearranged a couple of my plans tonight just because I felt it was going to be super annoying if you guys kept talking to people and what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's oh, everybody had their mind wiped. That's why everybody thinks they're right and everybody, doesn't remember anything.
I vote we tell the magnate about
Which
Aura.
one? Weston or...
Oh gosh, there's so much to happen tonight. Okay, so
no,
let's do...
I proposed.
Are we?
Oh my god, you propose. Let's see.
Proposed.
You are now Mrs. Kira Niatin.
Okay.
Well, no, it's not
Yeah.
official. It's not official. She's only engaged.
And you're going to be the most powerful lady of that house ever.
I am.
And if
You
you
are.
ever
She
want
hasn't
help
actually
accidentally
proposed.
killing your husband,
I'm not gonna
hasn't
kill
The
my
Morgan
husband. I
Darbahari
don't,
move.
I
Honest,
don't entirely dislike him. It's not that.
but later. Just,
Well, it's
just,
just... He has no spine.
Yes, that's fine, and I don't respect that. But it's okay. He had more spine this time,
honestly though,
even if he was, awkward.
We can rebuild his spine. We have the
I can
technology.
rebuild it.
My God!
Honestly,
See,
I did expect you guys to fight Danaganya. Which that
And get
surprised
like
me that
mind
you
wiped
guys.
or something.
Yeah, if you guys failed, she wasn't gonna kill you. It's just you wake up somewhere and you don't know anything.
Oh, that
It's
was
like
fun.
all the information we just got is like.
I was this close to eating her out of the room.
I'm just really torn between wanting to get Maria back from my parents and not wanting her to come back because they only adopted me because she was dead.
So,
That's
I
dark.
didn't want to fight.
I'm like,
Let's see, Lumilia backstory.
I didn't want to fight Oro either.
So with this whole, sending Corin out to them, you'll be like, I mean, their daughter is now officially dead.
but they're my parents.
Right, if anything, I've made your
But now you're
backstory
the
not
favorite.
a lie.
Let's go ahead and do experience.
Yeah, let's see. So, major ticks of experience for tonight. I've got propose.
I
Daphne
didn't feel like I
propose.
did much this session.
Well, that's fine. So there's 7 party members, so I have to rotate nights.
Did we
You
level?
propose. Weston, you guys found out that Weston is going to try and call in a star to become magnate if the leagues agree to meet. You added 1 member to the party organically. I didn't have to finagle or twist your guys' arms. And you found out Lumilia's sister is alive and was kidnapped and didn't die of sickness. Other major story, I guess Corwin is possibly a daughter of Gindenthel.
Oh no, she has way too large an interest in me. I am not housing demon spawn in my womb.
And
After
I guess you guys found out what happened to Oro. So I've got 6 ticks of major experience tonight.
Oh yeah, we definitely at least got to 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 600 experience for tonight.
That's definitely 3.
That's definitely 3.
I'm gonna
Alright.
do this on here.
Your experience should be like...
1200.
Yeah. Just go ahead and type that, and then you can level up on your own time just before next session. Or anytime before next session. And let's
I'm going to
go
roll
to
for
here.
HP. Bro.
There we
You
go.
fool!
You said we gained 600 this session, so we're at
Yes.
2,200. Alright, I'm Barbarian level 3.
So 600
Yeah, I
experience,
am a fool.
and your next session will be on the 15th of February. Is everybody cool with that date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might have to keep you updated on that.
Okay, yeah, if we need to change, I think this group can do Fridays if people know well in advance.
Well, that Friday I can't do because it's Valentine's.
Yeah, obviously, but I'm not
I mean,
obviously
we can do this
your
Friday
opinion, but yeah.
beforehand, maybe? Like,
Yeah, so
early week?
just keep me updated, and I'll schedule it based on your schedule. So tentative the 15th, pending Ryan's schedule. All right, you guys enjoy your night. I'm going.